I gotta say, I disagree because it's beautiful. The wind is blowing. We got Mother Nature's Zamboni. But let's talk about the United States Air Force. Thank you for your support, not only of the series, but also defending what I think, because I'm American, the best country in the world. Why did you join the U.S. Air Force?
I joined the U.S. Air Force to take care of my wife and my son 17 years ago, and it's probably one of the better decisions I made in my life. So right
on. Well, my grandpa, World War II, World War II, United States Air Force fighter pilot, or Army Air Corps, and then went into United States Air Force.
I'd say probably the best thing they could do is just reach out on their interwebs to airforce.com and check out their local recruiter. There's a locator on there that they can find, punch in their zip code, find the local recruiter, and go down and just sit down and have a chat with them.
And it's not always just about being on the battleground. There's round of applause for these young men and women enlisting themselves to the United States Air Force. Thank you to Captain Zach administering the oath of enlistment. And singing the national anthem, Miss Natalie Carter Young.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight of the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets recall the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yeah, make some noise for Miss Natalie Carter Young. All right, now it's time to meet your top 16 drivers here, ready to do battle. Are you ready to meet them, New Jersey and around the globe? Make some noise! Starting off, former Formula Drift champion. He's in the Monster Energy Nitto Tire Mustang RTR from Maryland, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Moving on down the line, two-time Formula Drift champion, the NOS Energy Drink, Hankook Tires, Nissan 370Z, Chris the Force Forsberg. Rounding out that Drift Alliance trio. Coming to us from New Hampshire in the Gumma, Hankook Tires Nameless Performance 2JZ, SR by Toyota 86, Ryan Hampshire Tuerck. Beginning the SR by Toyota trio that we have down there, a Formula Drift veteran in the Gretty, Nexon Tires Boost Brigade, SR by Toyota 86, the Goosh, Gushi. He is your defending Formula Drift champion, the Norwegian Hammer in the Rockstar Energy Drink, Nexon Tire SR by Toyota TC, Fredric Aasbo. Next to him, from Wrightwood, California, in the Art Performance Field Suspension, Falcon Tires V8 Hyundai Genesis Coupe, Odi Bakchis. Originally from Michigan, now living in Southern California. In that matte black Roush Performance Falcon Tires Ford Mustang JTP Justin Pawlak. And now our number one qualifier and a receiver of a check courtesy of the Black Magic Top Qualifier check. being presented by the beautiful Ashley Monahan from New Zealand Performance Car Magazine. Your #1 qualifier and $250 richer and a case of Black Magic Tire Shine. He's in the Turn 14 distribution twin turbo V8 on Falcon tires. Former Drift veteran Dai Yoshihara. Also a Formula Drift champion, I might add. It's a long list of things there. Coming to us with a beast of the bay, casual as can be. The retina burning yellow. He is in that Black Tracks Performance Vortex Supercharged V8 S14 on Falcon tires. 777 Matt Field. Deemed the monster BMW. Hashtag look it up from Pro 2 on his rookie season in Formula Drift Pro Championship. He's in the IMR Nitto Tires V8 BMW. He is Alex Heilbrun. Now deemed the Latvian lover, but you know what? He's ready to throw down right now. He got his first podium at the last round of competition in Orlando on the HGK Motorsports. He's on Achilles Radio's Motul Wise Fab, the BMW, again from Latvia. Kristaps Bluss. Also on some Achilles Radios, originally from Poland, residing now in San Francisco, California. He is Faruk Kugay. The 808 styles for miles. He's from Hawaii, now living in Las Vegas, the lead scientist at the Get Nuts Laboratory. Steer clear if you have a nut allergy because he gets nuts. He's the Hankook Tires S15. He is Forrest Wang. More international flair here. Moving on down the line as Forrest Wang throwing out. I told you he gets nuts. Look out if you have a peanut allergy. Moving on down the line, our last three vehicles. Coming to us from Ireland, the Oracle Lighting Dodge Viper on Achilles Radials. He is Dean Carnage Kearney. Commuting from Japan numerous years. Man, I remember when you debuted here, driving that Sil Camino here, open face helmet, and it's great to see him back here in the top 16. In the Achilles Radial G37, Robbie Nishida. Whoa, dude, you shaved your head, buddy. Shaved your head. All right, moving right along, another Formula Drift champion. He is in Loudmouth Exhaust Achilles Radial BMW, Michael Essa. There are your top 16 drivers, New Jersey and around the globe. Are you ready to send it? We're ready to send it here in New Jersey for round 4, the Formula Drift Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. All right, New Jersey, we are ready to see our top 16. But first, let's break it down. What are we looking at here, Ryan? As far as the track, it's straightforward, but man, it's very complex.
So let's take a look at the line graphic real quick, and you can see here. This is the layout of the track. The line and the angle points for qualifying, which have relevance to head-to-head matchups, are very heavily weighted on the bank. In particular, and when you factor in initiation for the style points, you're talking about 20 possible points there in qualifying. So they will use that basic same math in order to look at both drivers going into head-to-head. So let's take a look at the impact, fluidity, and commitment of the style category. Talk about that real quick. The initiation aspect of things, really what the judges are looking for is quick rate to angle, locking in that angle, not taking a lot of angle back, and really just fulfilling all the needed items of the initiation into that lead-up point, looking strong there, getting on throttle, and getting into the big bang. Fluidity, That's going to be how fluid you are from angle to angle in your transitions, and how quickly you're able to do that while looking fluid and not a lot of steering inputs, just locking into your line and moving on forward in the track. And then, of course, commitment is how close to the wall are you getting, the bank are you getting, your throttle control. Are you peppering the throttle, or are you full throttle all the way through? Obviously, these cars are very, very loud, and we can hear them. The judges are really looking for full throttle commitment. There's not a lot of lifting on this track except for maybe a little bit on initiation and a little bit coming out of the power alley.
Lead car adhering to that qualifying that we're looking for. Try to run the perfect run. Hit all the clipping zones. Hit all the clipping points. And then the chase car needs to utilize the lead car as a moving clipping point. Wherever they go, they need to follow, maybe even better. So that's how we're going to break it down. One car leads, then the other car, they switch it up. Two very different style of drivers. Fredric Aasbo, like we said, you called him Floyd Mayweather. Not a big, heavy hitter, but just body blows, and just relentlessly kind of going after it. Versus JTP, I would say a very emotional driver. Just needs to calm his nerves, get it together, because he has the car and he has the skill, but sometimes it gets the best of him.
Aasbo, I think he has a little bit of an advantage here, only because he's taking the first lead run out. He was a higher qualifier up against JTP, but watching JTP in practice, one of the things that he's been doing that was distinct from other drivers is his ability to throw angle in the car but keep his momentum moving forward. And I was very impressed by that, especially coming from inside clip 1 into outer zone number 2. So, he's got a couple cards up his sleeve as well.
That's the first 4 battles. On the other side of the bracket, Odi Bakchis, Michael Essa, 2 V8 cars. Odi Bakchis, like I said, I think if he qualified number 2. This is actual first battle he has to do because he got a bye. Odi could be one to watch this weekend.
Yeah, Odi obviously qualifying too. This will be the first time that we've seen him in a head-to-head matchup here this afternoon. Essa was another driver that was extremely aggressive in practice and qualifying, and he certainly has the car to be able to take out Odi, but it's just really going to have to pull all the things together and try to put together the best battle that he can against that guy.
Chris Forsberg, Forrest Wang, 2-time Formula Drift champion against Forrest Wang, who, again, 2 very different styles. Forsberg, throwing big angle. Forrest Wang, big angle, a little slower, but still a dynamic driver.
Forsberg's going to have to, modulate his speed. Wang's going to throw a lot of angle into the car. It'll be a tough battle for both guys.
Last 2 battles, Faruk Kugay against Matt Field, 2 guys, both from the Bay Area, and then lastly, Ryan Tuerck and Gushi. That should be fun.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Dai Yoshihara, Dean Kearney. Here we go. Our first battle of top 16, our number 1 qualifier, Dai Yoshihara. Look at Dean Kearney. We talked about it, and he is being about it. Dean Kearney, good transition into that flat bottom. You're seeing some correcting from Dean Kearney, but that's good in that chase position because he's getting himself right next to Dai Yoshihara. Woo! Already out of the gates, look at this. Dai, close to the clips. They navigate through that smoke. Falcon tire and Achilles, evidence all around the track. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. We are going to burn this place down here at Wall Stadium.
Well, an absolutely awesome representation of drifting by both drivers on the bank. Absolutely fluid and solid. Nice high line by Dai Yoshihara, but you can see Dean Kearney is with him right there. Dai goes a little bit long on that inside clip. Dean tucks up on the inside, attacking heavily here from the chase position. Big angle by Dai as he leaves outer zone number 2. Great angle on that second inside clip. Shooting through that third inside clip. Now a slight separation as Dai goes very deep into that touch and go area and wraps it back around to hit that last inside clip. Solid lead run. Not a lot of mistakes from Dai at all, but Dean was right there with him and kept his momentum from the top 32 into this battle.
Dude, Dean is looking possessed right now. He seems like he's got the Viper dialed in. He knows what he's doing.
Here's a perfect example of what you can expect when you see that on the bank. That is the start of a great battle right there by those 2 competitors.
What do you think about, obviously he's not mirroring exactly the angle. Also, Dean in that chase position, you saw some correcting the wheels. In the heat of the moment, I'm saying it's good. You don't want to see too much, but he's just massaging his car to get right close to Dai. What's your take on that?
As a chase driver, you have to adjust to the lead driver in order to show your dominance, and sometimes you have to make those adjustments. You can see Dai with a slight bit more angle on the bank, but Dean is right there with him. This is a very competitive battle so far.
The way Dai's talking about his car, he's saying he's comfortable. Obviously, everybody's on the up and up. On social media says the car is perfect. A testament to that. Number 1 qualifier, a testament to that. He just had a great lead run, but he hasn't chased anybody yet this weekend, so we'll see how competitive his vehicle is, horsepower-wise, angle-wise. Does he have the power and the wherewithal and the mental power to stay with Dean Kearney? We're about to find out. Here we go. A gap is created. Dean Kearney, good job, good angle. Keeping a safe distance is Dai Yoshihara. I'd like to see, a little falling back there from Dai Yoshihara coming into the crease. Dean Kearney Look at Dai, you see him getting close. Dean pulling away, some separation here. Not too concerned about nothing really major. But right now, it seems that Dai Yoshihara is maybe getting a little overpowered here in this arm wrestling match. But a great showing nonetheless from both these guys, gaining some applause from the local fans.
Yeah, this is certainly, if you're one of Dai's teammates or crew chief or spotter, you're worried about Dean running away. You can see a little bit of separation there on the bank. Maybe Dean wasn't as high as Dai was on his lead run, but you can see he's pulling out a little bit here. But now he's staying deep into this second zone, so if he's able to keep the angle and pull away from Dai, he will have an advantage. Great angle by Dean right there on that second and third inside clip, and that is an area where you can run away. You can loosen up your angle there and start to run away. He didn't seem to do that too much. Dai stuck with him, had an area where he fell back a little bit coming out of that touch and go zone. So we'll see how the judges take both runs into account, looking at both lead runs and both chase runs to come up with the victor or one more time.
Ryan, do you think we have a victor here in this situation, this scenario? I can see the judges kind of looking over the runs. Do you think we have a winner here?
I think there's at least a adequate justification for a winner, yes.
Okay, so taking a look as we are waiting for the judges' verdict. You guys having fun out there in New Jersey? Yeah, there we go. Batman's here. Stoked that Batman showed up. Didn't know his costume turned into a tank top. His sleeves exploded off. That's pretty dope. I'm with that. Really seals in the flavor. He's got a Batman hat on, too. Here we go. Let's get the verdict. Dean Carnage Kearney, Dai Yoshihara, and Dean Carnage Kearney gets the victory, defeating our #1 qualifier. Like I said, I think it really came down to that chase run. I think Dean, again, he made those corrections, but he massaged it to chase him down. There's a lot of turns. This is a very long track. I got to say, I agree with that call. As much as I'd like to see Daijiro back on the podium, I'd love to see Dean Carnage. You know, I always feel bad. There's always a loser, right? But I'd have to say, I agree with that call there. All right, so the turn 14 distribution, twin turbo V8 Subaru BRZ, former Formula Drift champion Dai Yoshihara is defeated by the Oracle Lighting Achilles Radial Dodge Viper of Dean Carnage Kearney. All right, Nishida, Heilbrun. These guys have never seen battle before. Look at this, collectively over 2,000 horsepower on track. As Robbie Nishida in that G37, he will be leading. Alex from Peru will be giving chase. Here we go. Robbie Nishida initiates. You can see him yanking the brake. Alex tucking into that Achilles radial smoke signal. Robbie knocking over that first front clip. Treated like a wall, so essentially just barely kissing it. Knocking over that plastic. Oh, Alex exploding the second one. These guys are taking these Libby points down. Oh, wow. Somebody losing, oh man, a lot of fiberglass getting lost up in the smoke. Looks like we are seeing some battle damage here between Alex and Robbie Nishida. Look at that big door ding there.
The first section of this run, the first half of this run, is pretty much what you'd expect. Both guys going out, charging hard. A great lead run right here by Robbie Nishida. Alex in the chase position, attacking on the inside in outer zone number 2. Now as we come through the power alley here it's going to get real tricky. You're going to see Robbie's going to hit this clip on the inside right here, explode his bumper, and then Alex right here, I think there's going to be some contact. There it is right there. Oh, maybe not from that angle, but definitely something very tricky happened there. Coming into the fourth inside clip, if we could maybe take a look at that one more time. See if we can see this just a bit better. Robbie was hitting that cone. Some parts came off the car, and then Alex kind of got stuck up as we headed towards the finish line. So we'll definitely want to take a look at that again. Here we go. Here's through the power alley. You can see Robbie hits there, loses some parts, and then right here, Alex is coming up on the inside. Very interesting.
Yeah, that was crazy. And that smoke that really obviously got to Alex's head, and you saw the contact there, but really no definitive.
No, I'm pretty sure that Alex made contact with Robbie.
Oh, I mean, you could see his door, and he obviously lost some fiberglass on.
Yeah, but Robbie, when he hit that cone and put a bunch of parts on the course, I thought maybe for a second Alex was driving over it, and it maybe caused a problem with his vehicle, but you could see after we got to this inside clip that there was contact there.
Yeah, a lot of carbon fiber and fiberglass shrapnel there left on track. As you can see, Robbie Nishida, his, I guess it would be his left side, bashed in there near the door. Here we go. Alex will lead. Nishida will give chase. Let's see. Are we going to get a winner here? The judges digesting that first run. Alex getting aggressive into the bank. Wow, that looked like he was almost going to drift right up into the wall. Shredding that back bumper off is Alex. Great angle. Keeping the speed, great momentum through the power lane. Nishida shutting it down. Oh man, what a bummer for Nishida. Shuts it down. Like I said, if his car's together. And there it is, Ryan, take a look at it again.
Well, this is pretty interesting here. You can see a great job by Alex up on the bank. Nice high line there. Incredible smoke line. Robbie falling back a little bit here. Great job by Alex on that first inside clip. Smooth transition into outer zone number 2. Robbie trying to tow up the rear end here, but unable to as Alex just goes offline for a second there. And as we come around this fourth and final inside clip, you can see Robbie Nishida shuts it down. Now, the contact is going to come into play here on run number 1. And if they are giving the fault to Alex, which I believe they will, resulting in a 0 for that run, that would be a 0 for Robbie Nishida. We may be seeing it one more time.
All right, so we are waiting for Bluss. Excuse me, next up would be Bluss and Gittin as we are waiting for Heilbrun and Nishida's outcome. So Ryan, as we wait for the verdict, you can see Nishida. Look at the door. I mean, you see how bashed in that is. And it just unfortunately in that smoke, you saw Alex get into Robbie. You saw the carbon fiber and the fiberglass just explode off the car, get on track. So Lavo turbo by Garrett, Voodoo 13, G37. Looks like he's now part of the boost brigade as well. You can see that on his back window. Alex Heilbrun, the IMR. Here we go. Slide him left for Alex, right for Nishida. Oh, look at that one more time. Andy and Brian say Robbie says Andy says Robbie, and Brian says one more time. They're going at it again. And Ryan, the justification there. I know you're conversing with the judges a bit there, but 2-1. One more time.
Yeah, I don't see how it's not a one more time, especially if you're giving fault to contact for Alex on run number 1. It'd be a 0 for him because Robbie didn't finish it after the contact, and then Robbie obviously didn't finish the run, so he's a 0 on that run. So that to me would seem to be a one more time, 0 and a 0.
This is a good opportunity to elaborate a little bit on the contact and collision. We saw a collision from Jeff Jones and Chris Forsberg. We saw tire to tire, and it was dictated that Jeff Jones was at fault. They gave Forsberg an allotted amount of time to work on it without utilizing his competition timeout. And in this instance, that would be just contact between Alex and Robbie because he was just on the door.
Well, no, I would consider that collision because he stopped drifting after it. If it has enough of an impact to where a damage occurs to the vehicle that needs a repair, or if he's unable to drift in the same manner that he was, then that goes out of contact into the collision category.
Gotcha.
Contact is just what we see a lot of, where there's a rubbing here and there, the rubbing is racing type thing, where we don't necessarily have to deem fault for that because no repairs need to be made, and we don't want to give everybody a ding, and we want to encourage these guys to drive door to door.
Yeah.
It's when you supersede that, and the driver needs to look at his vehicle because they broke a tie rod or something like that, that's when fault has to be given.
All right, well, we are about to see a former Formula Drift champion, Vaughn Gittin Jr., going against Kristaps Bluss, who received his first ever podium. It was just one clipping point away from getting his first, not only podium, but his first ever win. And he put on one heck of a show in Orlando, really just putting all the pieces together. Kristaps and Forsberg, they went toe-to-toe, and Kristaps just a real dominant showing here. His chases were some of the best we saw all weekend, and then, like I said, it was just one more clipping point right here. Look at this. He snaps back, transitions, and it just parks it, and it just comes to a halt, and that one final clipping point would have been his first ever, not only podium, but his first ever overall win. So, but you know what? Right now, he's got to go through Vaughn Gittin Jr., and that is a serious contender there behind the wheel of the Monster Energy Nitto Tire Mustang RTR. Looks like Vaughn Gittin Jr. keeping the Nitto tires warm. As Kristaps Bluss, HGK, Achilles radial, Mass Motorsports powered BMW. V8 under the hood of the BMW as well. Send a shout out to Tyson Bravo and Parker Jett and my lovely wife, Stephanie Dienda, for tuning in and watching. Also, happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there tomorrow. Happy early Father's Day to all the dads out there. And all the single moms for being the dads and the moms. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. A strong lead, a big gap already established. Vaughn Gittin Jr. high on the bank. Look at Kristaps. Woo! Absolutely attacking like a maniac, shredding that front bumper off. Vaughn Gittin Jr. goes off track. Look at all the body parts just strewn about the track. Oh wow, Kristaps just losing part. All right, we need to call some serious maid service right now. There's parts all across this course.
Well, let's take a look at this. You can see Bluss does not get a good jump on Gittin, and that was your fear because Gittin can run away with it. And right here, Bluss makes contact with Gittin on the bank. And we've got a great shot just right before the contact, but you can see that is pretty much the main point of contention here as Bluss makes contact with Gittin on the bank. Both drivers decide to continue, and there is parts spewing across the course from both drivers. So Bluss sees that he's at a disadvantage as Gittin was getting away, gets on the accelerator, taking a look at it again right there. You can see he makes contact. Gittin loses it. There goes his bumper, flying underneath Bluss. And then Gittin finally going off course here. Bluss almost spinning out.
So Bluss and Gittin.
And here you go, Jared. This is right before the incident happened. You can see just how close. Bluss was way far back and accelerated all the way to Gittin side by side and made contact with him right around here. So very, very aggressive move from Bluss, and unfortunately for him, it's going to cause a little bit of an issue for run number one.
Have the judges deemed fault yet? I think we're... Okay, so Bluss is at fault. So Vaughn Gittin Jr. will get as much time needed within reason.
That's definitely one of the the fine line that you need to run here in this sport of drifting, and this course is very, very tricky. As we talked about in the top 32, the drivers have noticed a substantial grip difference between the chase lane and the lead lane, and so we have a modified chicane in order to allow the chase driver to be able to get up as close as he possibly can to the lead driver. But if by some chance you don't get the timing right on the light or you just don't get out of the gate, you can see that gap established, and it's hard to make it up because of the short run-up. And then you see Bluss aggressively trying to make it up on the bank, and unfortunately it resulted in contact, collision.
He bit off more than he could chew and then just got right into Vaughn Gittin Jr. I mean, he lost some of his bash bar. Obviously, Vaughn losing his bumper, so that got pretty ugly there. All right, let's give out some free wheels. How might you ask? Well, tag a photo of you watching this weekend's event. Hashtag FDDrifts16, and that's spelled FD, obviously for Formula Drift, and then Drifts is actually spelled DRIFZ. FDDrifts16. Enter to win a free set of Drifts wheels. Proud sponsor of Edemus Odi Bakchis, ATD Wheels, and an official Formula Drift sponsor. So again, win a set of wheels, tag a photo of you watching this weekend's event. Hashtag FDDrifts16 to enter and win a set of drifts. Now look at this, Pawlak and Aasbo have seen each other 5 times, and Aasbo winning 3 times out of the 5. About 900 horsepower, about 1,000 horsepower from Aasbo. So you got this V8 Ford Mustang, and then you got the 4-cylinder turbo TC of Aasbo. Again, defending champion. If Aasbo keeps his cool, I think he has a package that could take down Aasbo, but Aasbo just dissecting this course, making it look really strong. He had a top 5 qualifying run yesterday, and like you said, he has I would say a mild advantage here, just given that he is leading on the first run. Aasbo initiates really high up into that wall, going against the serrated knife that is the railing. Aasbo scrubbing a lot of speed. Look at Pawlak. That allows him to gain that proximity. Getting on the door of Fredric Aasbo. Really pulling away. from Justin Pawlak. Look at that thing just grip up. Aasbo just consistent. The throttle all the way through. Just seems like he was just putting his car in all the right places. Aasbo up front.
Yeah, this is a quintessential Fredric Aasbo, starting out strong with a nice high line on the bank, showing a big variance there between him and Justin Pawlak, who's a little bit lower on the bank, a little bit less angle. You can see JTP closing the door here on this second outer zone. A little bit of a flub right there. Aasbo staying consistent out front. JTP within close proximity. Now, Justin makes a little slight bobble here on that inside clip. He shoots a little bit long, goes up off course for a second. Probably hands an advantage here to Fredric Aasbo, who did not make any mistakes in the lead. And this is kind of his MO. This is what he does. He goes out and he lays down a very, very solid lead run, something hard for you as another driver to do on your lead run. And then he gives enough to be able to take the win in his chase battle. But I have a feeling that Fredric Aasbo has got more in the vehicle. He's going to try to lay down a solid, stay close to you chase run.
Jeez. So, Justin Pawlak, you can barely see him through the smoke there. The Roush Performance Ford Mustang. Him debuting this new 2016 Ford Mustang package this year as well. Saw it debut at SEMA. Fredric Aasbo, our current points leader. Coming into this round of competition, only 6 points separated first and second. This is round 4 of 8, so we are reaching that halfway point as we bring this event to a close here on the podium. And we are ready to send them. Justin Pawlak leaving the start line. Initiating is Pawlak. Look at that angle. You see him really slam on the brakes, whip it in. And Ryan, this is what you were talking about earlier about, oh, look at that. Fredric Aasbo taking out that front clip. Justin Pawlak tucking in nicely into the crease. A lot more cool and calm out front as Aasbo seems to be struggling here playing catch up with Pawlak. Pawlak getting that outside zone, getting to the touch and go. I gotta say, I really like Justin Pawlak's lead run, and watch Aasbo. He really gets, he hits it with his wheel, that front clip.
You can see that snappy initiation. He has to pull a little bit of angle out of it. So nice job by Justin there. Aasbo also had a really nice line on his lead. You can see right there, Aasbo almost nearly center lines that inside clip. So making a mistake there in the chase position, but staying close to Justin as JTP very deep into that second outer zone. Nice job on that inside clip. Good angle through this section here. Like we said, that's an area where you can run away. And you can see Aasbo needs to take a tighter line to gain that proximity to Justin Pawlak as they cross the finish line. So both drivers laying down a ton of smoke on course, waiting for a second to clear for that second run, and then fireworks as both drivers come out and we wait for the judges.
The weld wheels there, wrapped in Falcon tires. You can see all the sponsors there. Run BC, Ford Performance Parts, Exit Clutches, Sparco, Sam's Autolands. Shout out to Sam Cascadian, a great fellow. And then Fredric Aasbo, Motegi Racing Wheels, wrapped in Nexen tires. The SR by Toyota TC. All right, are we going to see Fredric Aasbo advance on? He's our current points leader. Is Justin Pawlak going to take out our defending champion? Ryan says Fredric Aasbo. Andy says one more time. And Brian says Fredric Aasbo. Fredric Aasbo gets the win. The defending champion advances on to the top 16. So Justin Pawlak knocked out, and I could have seen that go one more time. In my honest opinion, I think Aasbo made a mistake. I think Pawlak did have some mistakes in his chase run. I don't think either.
The weight of the bank for the lead runs, yeah. Aasbo clearly had the better on the bank, and that's a really important section. He had the mistake here when he hit this clip on the inside, but it wasn't a major mistake, and he was within proximity the rest of the course. So I could definitely see that going in Aasbo, and obviously one judgment one more time, so he was going in your camp.
Yep. All right, so here we go. Michael Essa, Odi Bakchis. These guys, 2 for 2. Each getting 2 victories against each other. And here we go. Odi Bakchis. Michael Essa, some shimming there, trying to get closer to Odi Bakchis. Good transition, very smooth as Bakchis. You can see him working the wheel, looking inside the cockpit of the Hyundai. Essa, look at that, applying the pressure. Odi Bakchis not phased. A quick little, that transition was very slow to get to that touch and go.
Well, a good start by both these guys. I love how Michael Essa times that initiation, gets right in the pocket there. Odi very high on the bank. Essa, not much difference there as both drivers come off into that inside clip. Essa now locking in the attack on the inside, but Odi staying very wide, doing a great job. Huge angle from Odi as he leaves the second outer zone, but Essa is right there with him. Good angle through that third clip and the fourth clip wrapping around here. Odi nice and tight there. You can see those hash marks on the ground. Both drivers looking solid here after run number 1.
Here we go. Essa will now lead. Odi will give chase. Let's see what Essa's got. You can see the smoke, man, it is just lingering. Ryan, if you take a look at the flag, I mean, it is not moving at all, which really causes kind of a dilemma. It looks like it's foggy. It's like a eerie, foggy morning here.
Yeah, with that breeze, it clears out pretty quickly, but there's only a slight breeze up where we are here. You can see not much movement in the trees, so let these guys have ample opportunity in order to make sure that they can see their way through, especially the lead driver. The chase driver is pretty much driving through a smoke cloud the entire time, so they're used to it.
Yeah, fortunately, the smoke trail and the smoke signal that the cars are throwing off I mean, they're definitely blinded by it. I wouldn't say it's as bad as we've seen at other events, and that sun's gonna get in their eyes as well, especially when they go in there, because even if you look at it now, the way the shadow is laying on the bank, it's spotty. So you got to take into consideration the sun, the shadows, and of course the smoke. And, oh, look at Odi Bakchis! Woo! Odi Bakchis. This is the Jekyll and Hyde I'm talking about. He just seems like a different man this year. He's out for blood. And look at that. Most drivers have been backing off at that point. Odi just slowly rolled off of it. Oh no! Odi going high on that bank. That's where he had that issue before. You saw him with the transition there. A little bit of mistake there for Odi Bakchis. Ryan, unfortunately, that's going to end up biting him.
Well, we talked about Michael Essa getting in the pocket here. Odi Bakchis does an even better job of it on his chase run. And Essa out front looking very smooth and solid, nice and tight on that inside clip, slightly less angle by Odi as he comes through that inside clip. Now as we get into the second outer zone here, you can see both drivers are nearly door to door, leaving that second outer zone, and this is where it's going to get tricky here. Odi comes through the smoke line, and he gets offline, makes a mistake on the inside here as well, so he goes up on the bank and then has to charge back, and he makes a pretty sizable mistake just about with a quarter of the track left.
And here we go, going to the judges, Essa and Odi. Slide them left for Michael Essa. So, man, like you said, a great chase run there by Odi Bakchis. But he seemed to have an issue even on his lead run, too. Coming out of the power alley, you saw him kind of almost initiate, but kind of straightened up.
And take a look at this just to give you some of the skill level of Odi Bakchis. You know, unfortunately for losing this battle. Look at just how close he tucks up on the inside here. And, you know, to be able to do that, you need to have a great lead run, and Michael Essa had a great lead run.
And then as the course continued there for Odi Bakchis, unfortunately, coming out of the power alley, he got onto the bank, and that was all she wrote for Bakchis. So, Ryan, we are going to the second half. If we can recall the Vaughn Gittin Jr. Kristaps Bluss battle, where Kristaps, you saw him get aggressive on the bank. He got into the back of Gittin. Gittin was able to work on his car. They deemed fault to Kristaps Bluss, and that's what Bluss needs to do. I mean, he like I said, he has some confidence. He has this driving. We've seen him. He has this rad video. Have you seen the badass Latvian video where he rips around at the pier? He was pretty badass here, but unfortunately got in the back of that Monster Energy Ditto Tire Mustang.
Yeah, you can see Gittin gets out really strong here, and Bluss just pushes too hard on the bank. That's where the contact is made. There goes Gittin's bumper, and Bluss loses a bunch of parts as well. Both drivers are way off course. I mean, the run is essentially over at this point, but they continue forward. The collision was given fault to Kristaps Bluss, and Gittin had ample time to fix his vehicle, so now we will see the second half of this run. That was run number 1.
And for, unfortunately, Kristaps Bluss, that means he's at a deficit, so he would really need to put down a solid lead run and have Vaughn Gittin Jr. mess up to really get the victory here. So Vaughn Gittin Jr., I mean, knowing Vaughn, he's still going to push hard, but he's got to think calculated as far as what's going to transpire. Nice job. Oh, Bluss, get into the wall. We talked about it. He's doing what he needs to do right now. Get aggressive, exploding that initiation point, or not the initiation point, but the initiation defining that rear clipping zone. Vaughn Gittin Jr. Oh, as Kristaps. He's putting down a large run here. But with that contact, Ryan, I don't think that's enough to offset that contact with him at fault, man.
Yeah, he would either need Gittin to fall way far behind and be a victim of sandbagging, or make a zero, and Gittin doesn't do anything like that. But it's fun to watch Kristaps out front. He's an incredible driver, drives with so much aggression, made it all the way to the finals in Orlando, just coming up a little bit short on one driver error on the last corner. But outside of that, he certainly has a promising future in the Formula Drift Championship, and we're seeing some of that here now, even with that mistake in run number 1.
As we wait for the verdict, Kristaps Bluss getting his first podium. Last round of competition, Vaughn Gittin Jr. getting on the box. All the way up top in Atlanta, here we are, Bluss and Gittin. Slide them right for Vaughn Gittin Jr. Vaughn Gittin Jr., 2010 Formula Drift champion, the Monster Energy Nitto Tire Mustang RTR, gets the victory and advances on to the Great 8. All Blackview dash cameras protect your car night and day while you're driving or parked, thanks to their intelligent parking mode monitoring function that detects both motions and impacts and records only when something unusual happens. Check out Blackview dash cameras to make the most of your cloud. Also compatible Blackview dash cameras with Blackview over the cloud. It's the free add-on service that lets you video monitor your car from anywhere, anytime with your phone and the Blackview C app. Pretty cool feature there. Here we go. Robbie Nishida, Alex Heilbrun. The one more time battle. Nice job by Nishida. Transitioning now into that front clip. Whoa, Alex coming in hot, but it ends up working out for him. On the second dash mark there is Nishida. Alex diving in on the inside, taking a shallower line. Man, look at that. You can't even see the back half of that G37.
Incredible amount of smoke generating from these vehicles as Robbie Nishida takes the lead against Alex Heilbrun here. Nice job by Robbie out front. You can see Alex tucking in right there on attack. A slight bobble from Alex coming off the bank. Now Robbie Nishida into this second outer zone. Alex trying to eye him up, making a few corrections there in the chase position as Robbie comes through that fourth, or wraps around that third inside clip into the final, and right there you can see Alex makes another little bobble there, falls behind just a little bit. So a solid lead run by Robbie Nishida, a couple mistakes by Alex. Now have an opportunity to make that up here as he'll take the lead against Robbie Nishida.
Ryan, we're talking about the wind. You can see that big flag just absolutely standing still, so that's why the smoke accumulates on track, and you got to imagine that it's below kind of the ground surface as far as the track, so it sits in this bowl, and wind just does not get to it. So it sits there kind of like an eerie fog just looming over Wall Stadium Speedway. So the second half of this battle, you could hear these guys keeping it warm, taking a look at Nishida's car, making sure all is good. All right, we are clear to send. Here we go, Alex out front, Nishida giving chase. There's the one more time battle between these two guys. Are we gonna get a victor? The winner going against Dean Kearney, who's on a tear, him defeating our #1 qualifier, Dai Yoshihara.
So we are hearing, Jared, that Tech identified some oil leaking from Robbie Nishida's car. They want to take a look at it before they let him back out on course. He did lay down a solid lead run, so he'll certainly want to contest the second half of this battle, but we want to make sure that both drivers are safe. So we'll inspect the vehicle real quick.
Oh, look at this. We got an impromptu wave started by the fans. It's coming your way, right past the judges stand. Yeah, there we go. Gain momentum. It gained momentum. Is it coming back? Is there a backwash? We got a rip current? What do we got here? We're here on the shore. Yeah. Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back. Told you. We got a rip current here on the Jersey Shore. Alex. Whoa, big initiation by Alex. Robbie Nishida lacking the angle, rolling into it. Alex putting it down. Alex into that second rear clipping zone. Nishida getting a little wild there. Heilbrun rips through the power alley. The way Heilbrun's driving right now, this could be all she wrote for Nishida. Very aggressive, nice initiation, just straightforward out of the gate for Alex.
Well, the thing is, he didn't run away from Robbie by taking a shallower line. He actually starts off nice and high on the bank. He's able to establish an advantage here. Robbie's playing catch-up by the time we get into the first inside clip. He's able to close the door a little bit on Alex, but then Alex gets back on the throttle, stays pretty deep into that second outer zone. Now through the power alley here you can see he's still holding pretty decent angle, especially on that last inside clip. And then right here on that final turn, there's still that gap established. So after a nice lead run by Robbie, Alex comes back with one of his own and is able to get some separation between the two drivers.
The driver's waiting for the verdict. Alex Heilbrun from Lima, Peru. And here we go. Heilbrun and Nishida left for Alex. Heilbrun gets the win. Heilbrun and the RTS Monster BMW M3. Alex Heilbrun gets the victory as Robbie Nishida's knocked out.
So Jared, we talked about the bank and how important it is and how heavily it's weighted. You can see just the gap established here by Alex and Robbie Nishida. Robbie carrying less angle here, but you can see still at with angle, Alex is able to pull a pretty far separation between those two drivers.
And like you said, he had amazing angle and just he put his car in all the right places, but still separated himself from Bushido Blade, Robbie Nishida, and he moves on. All right, the left side of the bracket is filled. Dean Carnage Kearney's going against that of Alex Heilbrun. Vaughn Gittin Jr. against Fredric Aasbo. That should be a good one. Those guys have seen battle each other, and quite a dynamic duo there as they go against each other. Michael Essa will be going against the winner of this battle, Chris the Force Forsberg and Forrest Wang. Forsberg has defeated Forrest Wang twice before. The VK56 under the hood of the NOS Engineering 370Z. He did throw nitrous at it. It's his only power outer compared to the 2JZ under the hood of the Sylvia S15 of Forrest Wang. We are ready to send it here in New Jersey. Both these guys on Hankook tires. Getting a wheel spin here off the line. As we are seeing a red flag. A red flag there from... All right, so we got a restart here. Looks like Chris Forsberg hit a cone there. He kind of had a slow crawl there. We saw Forrest Wang jump the light, and you are allowed to do that.
As the chase driver, you can jump the light, absolutely. The lead driver obviously cannot do that. Gives the chase driver an opportunity to get out front, try to get those guys close together. We'll take a look at it here. You can see what we did with this kind of modified chicane. It comes out about a foot, and Forsberg just knocks it out of place there for a second. So our first restart of the afternoon, and we'll do it again.
All right, so that was null and void. That was not a run. That is a restart. So Chris Forsberg has 1 strike, 3 strikes, and you're out. Finding out what's going on here with Forrest Wang's. Looks like his bumper. That Super Doof body kit by 2F Performance. It looks like we might be seeing that.
He lent him a zip tie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
He's like,
I
here,
thought
bro.
I was giving him a thumbs up. He's like, oh, all right, cool. Sent you down there, hook me up, dog. So Formula Dread operates Golden Gate Drift, as well as many of the staff here. Our judge, Brian Eggert, operates US Drift. Nick DeJean, Southwest Drift Series, and Vegas Drift. Quite a few sanctioned bodies ran by a lot of the officials and Formula Drift staff.
So really going to be paying attention to speed here. See if Wang can get that jump he needs.
We'll see if Wang can apply the pressure, see if he can get in the back end of Chris Forsberg. As Forsberg high on the bank, Wang, great emulation of that angle. Forrest Wang coming down off the bank into the crease is Chris Forsberg. Forrest Wang gaining that proximity. Nice job by Wang. Through the power alley, transitioning through is Forsberg. Look at the smoke. I mean, you could barely see through it. Forsberg and Wang toe-to-toe. Make some noise, New Jersey. Great runs there.
Well, Forrest really shows a great display here to stay close to Forsberg on initiation and through the bank. Really good job there. You can see coming off the bank, incredible job through that first inside clip. Now as we take a look here at the second outer zone, you can see Forrest will unwind the angle just a tiny bit, just barely noticeable as Forsberg goes deep into that zone. And then across the middle section here, big angle from Forsberg, a little bit less angle on that third inside clip by Wang, and then a tiny bit of separation here towards the end. But a great job by Wang on that heavily weighted point up on the bank, staying with Forsberg and doing a solid job as Forsberg had a clean lead of his own.
Man, look at that. I mean, fortunately, it seems that the wind up here on the tower, but mind you, we are raised here above the track surface. It seems to be clearing out good, which is nice. If everybody could blow, as hard as possible, and get the smoke out of here. Forrest Wang will now lead. Hankook Tires getting its laboratory Sylvia. Chris Forsberg giving chase. Remember, lead car adhering to the judging criteria, talking about line and angle, and of course IFC. Initiation, fluidity, and commitment. With the chase car, utilizing the lead car as a moving clipping point. There we go, who's gonna come out on top? Forrest Wang, a feint entry, initiating into the bank. Forrest Wang throws it in. Forsberg falling down there quite a bit, coming now into that first front clip. As Forrest Wang and Chris Forsberg get into it. Man, Forsberg getting into the door of Forrest Wang. Let's take a look at it again, Ryan. Here we go.
Well, we start off pretty awesome here. You can see Forsberg trying to eye up to the line, but he gets down a lot lower. At the beginning, he reaches up a little bit here, and then obviously this is the biggest part. You can see big angle by Wang. Forsberg right there, makes contact with him, and the run is over at this point, so it's really going to come down to the fault. Watch if you see any lights come on from Wang. He has a lot of angle in the vehicle. He's been doing that pretty much all day, putting big angle through that first inside clip. We saw him do it against Tyler McQuarrie. And that is kind of Wang's style there. I mean, everybody loves it when you throw a big angle. You definitely want to keep the momentum fluid all the way through, and that'll be what the judges have to look at there. Here it is once again, Jared. Lead run, you can see, nice job by Forrest. A little bit of a slight hesitation into full angle, but nice and high on the bank. Forsberg is here. Now as they come off the bank, you can see Forrest, big angle through the smoke cloud. Forsberg makes contact, and run is over.
All right, looks like Chris Forsberg will get towed off here. Two gliders sport, makes some noise for him as he steps out of his car. Chris the Force Forsberg. A hard hit there between Forsberg and Wang. Inspecting the damage here of what transpired. Ryan, looks like you're having some words with the judges.
Well, let's take a look at the first set of runs here. This is Forsberg's lead. Nice job by Wang staying with them. Forsberg nice and high on the bank. I mean, it's a pretty solid lead run from Forsberg. Not much to nitpick here. Wang doing a solid job in the chase position. Right there, he just unwinds the angle a tiny bit. I would have given it advantage Forsberg after run number one. But run number two, you can see Wang makes another mistake there on that third inside clip. It gives a little bit of room to Forsberg through the finish line. But it's really going to come down to this, Jared. I mean, this is the biggest aspect of these two runs. Now Wang, I think, gets the better of the bank here, and then as he comes off the bank, you'll see he's going to come into first inside clip, and that's basically been his MO throughout the entire course. You can see Forsberg had less angle, and he was coming up. My gut is telling me that it's going to be against Forsberg. Let's take a look at it here.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's a lot of angle, and like I said, you know, we talked about the one more time. I mean, Forrest Wang went 3 times against Tyler McCory, and I think that was the frustration that Tyler McCory had, was that he scrubs a lot of speed. He slows down tremendously. Yes, it looks cool. It's smoky. It's rad. And like you said, Forrest has been doing it. And let's call it what it is. Big angle, max angle, big smoke, but very slow speed, crawling through that section. Forsberg is ripping off of that, and you can't slow down that speeding train.
Yeah, but look at the angle of Forsberg coming through there. I mean, he has less angle, and the thing is, you know, he's been doing it.
Yeah,
that's just what Forrest's been doing,
and
it's the job of the chase driver to adjust to the lead. You have to know who you're going up against, and that's why my gut is feeling like that it's going to go against Forsberg. What McCory was complaining about is he thought that
you say complaining. Did you speak to him in the halftime break?
Yeah, what he was concerned about was the speed of him around the course in general.
Okay.
That he was, you know, even he was left foot braking in the chase position, and because he was trying to slow himself down because he thought Forrest was driving so slow through the course.
But as you said, it's the chase driver needs to accommodate, needs to modify, needs to basically work with what they're dealt. And if Forrest Wang is traditionally a slower, smokier, big angle driver, you need to adapt.
And within limits. Obviously, if you go out and lay down a blistering, crazy runs throughout practice and qualifying, and then all of a sudden you show an abruptly slower run when you go into tandem against somebody, then that's going to be noticed. But I mean, this is pretty stereotypical for Forrest. He throws big angle in the car. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Like for example, at Long Beach, it did not pay off for him. And this might be a situation where it might go in his direction, but we have not received any official word from the judges just yet.
Well, both these cars a little battered and bruised, and we'll see who comes out on top. All right, so judges, everybody conversing up here. Hashtag FD New Jersey. Also, pick up your Formula Drift Takata wallet, available now. Go to takataracing.com, pick up your wallet. Also, we're giving away. All right, let's take a look at this again. We got the fans doing a wave here. Keep it moving. Come on now. As we take a look at the runs, Ryan.
The judges wanting yet another replay here of both runs. And we'll have to say that this is going to be it. You can see again Forsberg very solid in the lead position. Wang doing a pretty solid job here in the chase. He just makes a couple mistakes on outer zone 2, and then as he comes into this third inside clip, loses a little bit of angle here against Forsberg. So, you know, Forsberg in my mind has an advantage after this run, but like we said, Jared, it's really just going to come down to that contact. And here it is again. Wang nice and high on the bank. Forsberg a bit lower, a bit less angle. And as Wang comes into this first inside clip, big angle here, Forsberg through the smoke cloud, makes contact, and that's what we've been talking about. So we'll see.
Could see our next competitors pulling to the line. These guys have a history as recent as Atlanta going against each other. Faruk Kugay, the S14, the silver one, he's going to be chasing down Matt Field. Falcon Tires, Black Tracks Performance, Vortex Supercharged V8 S14. And we are going to the judges. We have results from the Forsberg and Wang battle. And Ryan, we talked about that first battle. I would agree that Forsberg had the advantage after the first run. What transpires? And look at this, Chris Forsberg gets the win. Chris Forsberg unanimously gets the win and the victory here in this situation. Ryan, we're hearing boos. We're hearing some upset folks here, but it's unanimous. It's a unanimous decision. Ryan, we have Ryan Lontaine in your ear actually right now. I think this does bear some elaboration.
Yeah. I mean, we can get Ryan on the microphone. I mean, basically what they've done is they've established here's the standard for the amount of speed and angle that you can carry through that inside clip. They said Forrest went over that. I thought Forrest been doing that all weekend long. To me, it seemed like it still had fluid motion, but you know, obviously that's not what they thought. So we'll get some words from Ryan if we want to get some further clarification.
Yeah, real quick. We have the guys on the line. We have Field and Faruk. and we are seeing again. So Chris Forsberg gets the victory. Forrest Wang knocked out, and so real quick, Ryan, we have the drivers on the line. They're warmed up, ready to go. Elaborate, if you will. It was unanimous.
It was unanimous. We looked at what Forrest Wang's trajectory looked like and his momentum as well, going by inside clip 1. And as you can see, we watched it over and over again, and you can see that he was off throttle and the car was carrying wide. That is not a slowdown area. We have a slowdown area dedicated before outside zone 2, but in that area we expect the drivers, and all the drivers expect all the drivers to be on throttle. In the chase position, you can't lift off and expect the lead car to be lifting off in that area. You expect him to be on throttle, and if you as a chase car lift off, you're going to lose proximity. So we're trying to protect the chase driver by putting out this map that we did put out in the drivers meeting, showing where an acceptable slowdown or an area where the chase driver should expect a lead driver to slow down. And that was not one of them. That was a severe slowdown using his angle to slow the car down. Yeah, it might look really cool for 2 seconds where he gets big angle, but he's not on throttle and he's not doing what we asked for. And that's not what we want from the drivers. We want them to be full throttle, driving really aggressively. Now, he did that to Tyler McQuarrie earlier, but what we judged in that situation was that Tyler McQuarrie also had a lot of mistakes, which is why we called the original one more time. Forrest Wang didn't win because he did that in that run with Tyler McQuarrie. Right. He won despite that. And then this situation, I can't give him the win for doing something that he's not supposed to do in that area. Right. We have to protect the chase drivers and give them the right areas where they know everybody's going to be on throttle. And in that area, everybody's on throttle. Watch the next run. Nobody's going to be lifting in that area unless they make a mistake.
And then Ryan was trying to look for the brake lights. There were no brake lights, but essentially when you lift that throttle and you're coming down, you're scrubbing a lot of speed because so much angle, and you're just off throttle.
The amount of angle these cars that he had right there, and especially when you have that type of angle built into the car, you're going to slow down an incredible amount when you're off throttle like that.
Well, I appreciate your elaboration. Thank you so much. That's the verdict. That's the justification. So we'll advance on as we are seeing these guys. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Again, I think that really bears a lot of opportunity to elaborate on something like that.
Yeah, no, it's good to definitely hear what he's saying. I mean, like I said, in my mind, they've set the standard for what is acceptable and not acceptable in that area, and obviously it didn't go in Forrest's way. You know, I was kind of thinking it was, but you know, it had to happen for it to happen in order to establish the standard. I get what he's saying.
All right, so Field and Faruk. Chris Forsberg advances on. He's going against Michael Essa. 2 more battles in the top 16. Here comes Field, initiating into that first rear clipping zone. Faruk, a late initiation, wavering on the bank. Matt Field dialed in as Faruk struggling to maintain the angle. A lot of corrections there in that chase position, and back quite a bit as Matt Field brings it through. Wants some redemption here as they saw each other in Atlanta.
Well, if you remember going back to Atlanta, the incident happened in the chase position.
Yeah.
So we'll see as both drivers now head back to the grid. Matt Field, a little bit of a stroll through the park here. You can see nice and high on the bank, solid on that inside clip. Great angle here through this second outer zone. Wrapping around now into that second and third inside clip. Good angle there. Big gap here established between him and Faruk. And then right across the finish line there, just a little bit long on that last inside clip. Faruk now goes to the lead. Matt Field will chase him down.
Watch it. Here we are. As Faruk will now lead. Faruk will lead and Matt Field will give chase. So like we said, Faruk kind of struggling there, and you said the incident in Atlanta. We talk about if you didn't watch it, Matt Field really had an advantage. Faruk slowed down and Field just punted, for lack of a better term, Faruk, and it was deemed his fault. So Faruk actually got the win. A very low initiation by Faruk. Struggling here in the lead position is Faruk. And if Matt Field continues on the pace he is right now, he will be seeing a grade 8 berth. Faruk makes his way through, as does Matt Field, and Faruk really struggling there out front, Ryan.
A really good example here of the chase driver adapting to the lead driver's line. You can see Faruk heads way down the bank. Matt Field sees it. He chases him down, follows him on the line that he's on. Sticks it to him here on this second outer zone. Through the smoke line here is Matt Field and Faruk out front. Faruk doing what he can to try to make up for that chase run and run number one. You can see a slight mistake right there by Matt. It comes across the infield, hits that third inside clipping point, and the run is over as both drivers cross the finish line here. Matt Field against Faruk Kugay.
All right, slide him left for Faruk, right for Field. And I'm assuming they are going to all go right for Matt Field. 777 in the Falcon Tires, Drift Cave, Black Tracks Performance, Rotiform Wheels, Vortex Supercharged, S14. Matt Field gets the victory. Faruk MFR, Achilles Radial Fat Lace S14 gets knocked out as he exits stage left. All right, one more driver here to forge the grade 8. Dean Carnage Kearney, he's going to be going against that of Alex Heilbrun. Vaughn Gittin Jr. Fredric Aasbo. Michael Essa versus Chris Forsberg. Matt Field against the winner of this battle. It's an all SR by Toyota 86 battle. Ken Gushi, the Goose, who qualified 11th. Ryan Tuerck qualifying 6th. So that means Ryan Tuerck will lead on the first portion of this battle. The Gum Out Nameless Performance, Hankook Tires, SR by Toyota 86, piloted by Ryan Tuerck. Pulls to the start line. Ken Gushi, Gretti Performance, Hankook Tires, SR by Toyota 86, the Boost Brigade team captain, let's call it what it is. Ryan Tuerck will lead the 2JZ. Both these guys actually 2JZ, SR by Toyota 86s. And Goosh leaves the start line. You're allowed to leave the start line a little early if you're in the chase position. Ryan Tuerck initiates. Good angle, tapping of the brakes. Here comes Goosh. Ryan Tuerck throttling through. Smashing the throttle. Look at Gushi right there on the door of Tuerck. Look at him lunging forward like a fencing match. Woo! All the JZs. Nice run from both these guys.
Well, a solid display of drifting here from Ryan Tuerck and Ken Gushi. You can see nice and high on the bank is Ryan Tuerck. Gushi just a little bit lower, but solid job by him in the chase. A little bit of a flub there by Gushi. Barely noticeable as Ryan Tuerck hits the second outer zone. Now very, very close. Pouring it on is Ken Gushi in the chase position. Now like Odi Bakchis, you can see Gushi get a little bit out of whack right here. Then he gets right back on it. Door to door with Ryan Tuerck. And both drivers through the finish line here. So solid lead run by Ryan Tuerck. Now Ken Gushi will go to the lead. Ryan Tuerck will chase him down as we let the smoke clear here in this bowl.
Yeah, look at that. Nexen Tire, Hankook Tire smoke filling Mall Stadium. Ken Gushi on Nexen Tires. Ryan Tuerck on Hankooks. Waiting for the smoke to clear a bit. Ryan, we already have 7 drivers in the grade 8. The winner of this battle will go against Matt Field. And the way Field's driving, he's a real contender here today.
He certainly is, yeah. He's our 2016 Motegi Super Drift champion. He certainly has the ability in him. We'll find out who he's going to meat here. And Dean Carnage Kearney on the other side of the bracket's been hanging out with his feet up for the past 45 minutes. Right. He was the first guy with one and done.
Yeah, that was a while ago as he defeated Dai Yoshihara. Ken Gushi with a ton of stats, being a Formula Drift veteran since day 1, 2004. 72 events, 1 win, 10 podiums. Him and Ryan Tuerck have seen battle against each other a collective 7 times, with Ryan Tuerck winning 5 out of the 7 times. What is going on here, Ryan? That was a real early jump by Ryan Tuerck. That really threw him off his game. As Ken Gushi continues through the course, Ryan Tuerck popping his way now, dropping into formation like a dogfight. Wow, look at Gushi throw more angle at it around that front clip. Woo! Sounds like a battle. man, this sounds like an absolute civil war out there.
The level that this has gotten to. Now let's watch this. Now, if Gushi gets off the line at the appropriate time, Ryan Tuerck certainly did not time his jump properly at all. You can see he does not get a good start here. He doesn't even get into angle until about halfway through the bank. Now that's going to be a big consideration because the bank is weighted so heavily. Now, Tuerck does come back very strong through this section of the course, but we have to take the bank into consideration in the entirety of the run. Right here, he's door to door with Ken Gushi. Super impressive by Ryan Tuerck. Great job there. Now as Gushi's in the lead here, he's going to be a tiny bit long on that first inside clip, but it's really, what happened from the start to the bank. Again, Tuerck didn't even really start getting into angle until way later from the point of initiation. So we'll have to see if anything mysterious happened there. I'm not hearing anything other than just a clean start at this point, so it seems like everything was fine. It just looks like Ryan Tuerck got a bad start.
Yeah, I mean, he jumped the light, unfortunately.
So here it is. You can see what we're hearing from tech is that Ryan Tuerck did jump the light,
which is allowed.
Which is allowed, but Gushi did go in time. They give him a 2 count, and he was just at about the 1.5 basically. So he was within the limits, but Tuerck maybe got out a little bit aggressively. He showed some incredible skill right here on the second part of this run, but we have to take the bank into consideration. Yeah. And the judges definitely have been weighing that very, very heavily in the same way that they did Orlando.
So we're waiting for the verdict here between Gushi and Ryan Tuerck. Shout out to Larry Chen down there shooting some photos. Slide him left for Gushi, right for Tuerck. And that's a one more time from Ryan. Andy says, one more time. And Brian says Ken Gushi. So 2-1, Ryan Tuerck. Ryan, I mean, yeah, that's a tough one. When we come back real quick, we'll elaborate a bit more on that. When we come back, we'll continue round 4 of the Formula Drift Championship presented by Blackview. Remember, we got the one more time battle, Tuerck and Gushi, when we return. All right, well, you can see the fans getting loud here, making some noise as we are awaiting the one more time battle. We have 7 drivers in the Grade 8. One more driver is going to join them. We saw the one more time between Gushi and Tuerck. But real quick, Lorette Nickel caught up with Alex Heilbrun, who is our Formula Drift rookie earlier in the pits.
Alex Heilbrun and I were just talking about his run. Alex, why don't you take us through it?
Well, that just was a really good run against Robbie, a one more time battle. In our first chase, we made a mistake at the end and made some contact, which threw our alignment a little bit off. So we had to fight the car a little bit on our lead run, but we pulled it off and got the advantage. So in a one more time, we were able to keep the car together and win the battle.
Now, you were talking about having alignment issues. What did you tell your team to fix?
Yeah, with the alignment issues, you have to fight the steering wheel to keep the car in the right direction. So now we're getting everything measured and see what happened with the crash and getting everything back to square, and we'll be back in the track.
Best of luck. Thank you. Guys.
Thank you, Lorette, and congratulations to you, Alex Heilbrun. You go against Dean Kearney, the first battle of the Grade 8. As we'll continue on with the Grade 8, Vaughn Gittin Jr. qualified 4th. He goes against Fredric Aasbo. Michael Essa goes against Chris Forsberg in a crazy turn of events. You can just hear all the boos and all the cheers and jeers and all the trolls just trolling away. As it's really cute, but sometimes it's just gosh darn annoying. But regardless, and then we're going to see Matt Field go against the winner of Ken Gushi and Ryan Tuerck. And then, again, when we come back, round 4 of the Formula Drift Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras when we return here to Wall Stadium Speedway.
All right, and we're back here live at New Jersey for round 4 of the Formula Drift Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. We've got an interview here with Chris Forsberg, who sustained some damage in what is going to be his very talked about battle with Forrest Wang. Let's go down to Lorette.
Chris Forsberg's team working real hard on your car. Chris, walk us through that run with Forrest.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. We did our lead run. We had a nice high, wide lead run. We had a little bit of gap on him. Had, it was probably about even right there. But on his lead run, he comes off the bank and he transfers through inner 1 and just cranks it all the way to lock, almost past lock, and scrubbed a lot of speed in throttle part of the track. And to kind of help to aid with fault of collisions, the judges give us an acceleration deceleration map in which where you're allowed to brake heavily and where you're not allowed to, and so that was not a part of the track, and so when he whipped it to lock and the car kind of hangs up, you lose a lot of momentum, and we were running door to door with him, and we came in and hit him, and it broke our control arm.
Okay, so what is the team working on here?
The team is currently swapping probably the entire right side of the front car. So we got upper control arm, lower control arm, tie rod, sway bar arm, basically everything that holds the wheel on.
Okay. Best of luck, Chris.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Lorette, as we are seeing Ryan Tuerck pull to the line, or pull to just the chute, pulling him into the chute. And then we'll be seeing Ken Gushi here. I can hear him warming him up. Ken Gushi, not changing a thing, just getting some fresh tires as Lorette Nickel is in the pits and letting me know what's going down. Sure, that was the scenario for Ryan Tuerck as well. All right, you can see the fans here. How you guys doing out there in New Jersey? Don't yawn, buddy. See you yawning, no yawning. All right, we're ready to send it. Our final battle of the top 16. Ryan Tuerck, Ken Gushi. Formula Drift, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. All right, Ryan Tuerck leading. Main initiation into the bank. Ryan Tuerck, nice and high. Look at Gushi. Amazing angle proximity, Ryan Tuerck. Quick yank of the e-brake. Gets it into the crease. And look at Ken Gushi in the pocket. Tucking in once again. Woo! Very similar setup vehicles. From engines to builds. Ryan Sage.
Now this is a really good start by both drivers. And Gushi stays super tight on Ryan Tuerck here through the bank. He was on a slightly lower line for a second, but then climbed back up and stuck with them. And this time he basically kind of does a mirror image of what Tuerck did to him. Very, very close here on the second outer zone. You can see the angle very similar. Tuerck threw that inside clip, so is Gushi. Both drivers hit that third inside clip. Gushi falls back on a deeper line for a second, so maybe a slight advantage here to Ryan Tuerck. But both drivers incredible. Now that one more time battle had one judge going to Gushi and two one more times. We can take a look at the just the closeness here between these drivers on the bank, Jared. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, so sick.
And Ryan Tuerck had that mishap on the start, and he had it caused him to have a big flub into the bank. And then Gushi had those two mistakes, and that is basically what led to the one more time from those two judges, but one going to Gushi, and I can see why, because of the mistake from Tuerck on the bank and the importance of the bank. So now we'll want to definitely emphasize Tuerck getting a good start here, and Gushi's got to lay down a solid, clean lead run, which he's certainly capable of.
Ken Gushi will lead. Ryan Tuerck giving chase. You can see Alex Heilbrun coming down the chute. He'll be our first battle against Dean Carnage Kearney in the Grade 8. Remember, hashtag FDNJ. All right, so the smoke is now cleared from the turn. Thank you for your patience. Obviously, the drivers eagerly awaiting, and you know, you got to think what's going through their head right now. They're like, all right, dude, let's do this. I'm ready to battle. As the fans anticipate who is going to advance on. And here we go. So a clean start here. Ryan Tuerck chooses not to do the jumping of the light. As Ken Gushi, nice and high. Ryan Tuerck, you can see him tapping the brake, keeping it cool, calm, and collect. Ryan Tuerck takes out that front clip. Ryan Tuerck zeroing in on him. Ken Gushi, great angle. Look at that. Nice into that front clip. Oh, Ryan Tuerck running over the front clip as Gushi, a very tight, shallow line. Wow, look at the smoke, look at the angle. What do you say, New Jersey?
Absolutely phenomenal here.
Phenomenal.
Nice lead run by Ken Gushi up top. You can see Tuerck with him there. A little bit of separation. I would say Gushi got the better of the leads, at least in that section of the course. Ryan Tuerck eyeing up an opportunity to attack here on this second outer zone. Great angle from Gushi. Now watch this. Ryan Tuerck's going to come through the power alley. He's going to pretty severely hit that third inside clip on the right side, almost on the right side of his vehicle. So a pretty solid mistake there. And as we take a look, at the results, we'll find out who's going to move on in the top 16.
And there it is. Ken Gushi gets the win. Ken Gushi gets the win and advances on to the Great 8, defeating Ryan Tuerck. So Gushi will go against Matt Field, and our Great 8 has been shaped up.
And here we go, Jared. If we took a snap of that Gushi chasing Tuerck, here's Tuerck chasing Gushi, and you can see the separation here, and that might have been what it took besides the mistake on the inside here by Ryan Tuerck to get the win in unanimous fashion against Ryan Tuerck.
And I would say in comparison to Gushi chasing Tuerck, Gushi was with him throughout the whole run.
To the
and
last snap that I put up there.
Kept absolutely great angle with him and mirrored him everywhere he went. So our Great 8 is shaped, Ryan. We got Gushi here. He's going against Field. Forsberg versus Essa. We're kind of backtracking here. Aasbo versus Gittin. But first, it's the Irish driver, Dean Carnage Kearney, going against the Lima Peru Zone Team RTS Monster BMW M3 of Alex Heilbrun. So we're already seeing Alex and Dean Carnage Kearney. So this is our first battle of the Great 8. Started with 30 drivers. Our top 2 qualifiers having a bye. Kenny Moen, congratulations to him. He's drifting in, I believe it's Norway, or ripping around a Lamborghini, and congratulations to him. Looks like he got the victory. And then, unfortunately, Mad Mike Wadette having some engine issues. He couldn't compete in qualifying or competition, so he was out. So we'll have some words, actually. We got Mad Mike Wadette here in the tower. We'll have some words with him. Obviously one of the fan favorites. Alex Heilbrun. Look at that angle. Drops down, though. Not as solid as he did in the top 16. Dean Carnage Kearney, look at him lunge forward into the door. As Alex zeroes in on that front clip. Woo, look at Dean. Dean Kearney bringing it on home in that Dodge Viper. Let's take a look at this again, Ryan. Like I said, that initiation by Alex, strong, but then you saw him kind of waver.
Yeah, you can see really quick into initiation, right to angle, but then he pulls some angle out. The judges want to see you get to angle, hold it there, and drive it all the way through, and he was on a mid-line. Now Dean here, the Chase Monster, stays super close to Alex, coming through, or out of the second outer zone, and then through this power alley here, nearly making contact. Slight wavering there from Dean as Alex wraps around this last inside clip. But as you can see, both drivers full throttle all the way through, and Dean once again showing his prowess in the chase position.
And you could almost just put a piece of paper right in between Dean Kearney and Alex Heilbrun's back bumper. There they are working on Ken Gushi's vehicle after that hard-fought battle with Ryan Tuerck. Gonna one more time from them. Getting prepped to do battle against Matt Field. The 2JZ SR by Toyota 86 on Nexon tires. Will go against the supercharged V8 of Matt Field. You can see they got the overflow tanks there, it looks like, draining some fluid. All right, again, the smoke and the way this, Ryan, we're talking about the shadows. Looks like the whole bank is fully shadowed now, which is good. Doesn't throw you off as far as perception, but then also the sun and the smoke, it hits it blinds you. And then you're trying to chase the car down, right?
Very, very tough conditions for drivers, especially given the smoke.
Here we go. Dean Kearney out front. Oracle Lighting, Dodge Viper on the Keeley's radials. Wow, Alex Heilbrun dropping down the bank. Oh, a big straightening, a correction there from Dean. Shutting it down. Oh, man, that looked like he was off to the races as Alex looks like he's just going to finish it out. What a bummer for Dean Kearney. No contact there. Just shuts it down. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. It looked like Dean was really going to pull it out.
He was looking very strong. And we'll take a look at the replay here. Into initiation, he's got him on a midline, puts the butt up a little bit higher there, and as he comes off the bank, right here you can see him start to straighten out, and then he's off throttle. Pretty much happened before inside clip 1, just about as he was coming off the bank. You can see the wheels coming straight right there. And a tough break for Dean. Sad moment for him.
We're finding out from the Bridges Racing team his power steering broke. So he lost all power steering, and that's why he had to straighten out. So Dean Kearney gets knocked out. Alex Heilbrun gets the win, and he's going to the Final Four for his first ever Formula Drift Pro Final Four battle. All right, up here in the booth, I have a driver that's a great friend of mine and always a crowd favorite and a fan favorite and a friend of many people across the world, as he's a great ambassador of the sport of drifting and all things fun. And Mad Mike Wadette. Mike, how we doing?
Good. I would much rather be out there shredding some rubber, putting on a show for the fans, but it's exciting. It's a rad track out here.
Yeah, it's a fun track. I mean, New Jersey hasn't been your favorite track, man. It seems like you have some bad luck here.
Yes, so 2010 was the last time I ran here in the RX-8, and literally we were running no suspension in that car. It was slammed to the ground. I kept snapping axles on the steep transition off the bank to the flat. Last year, unfortunately, we were unable to make it. We had commitment with Goodwood Festival of Speed. But this year, Goodwood's next weekend, so I was really pumped to get up here. I've been in the States now for 4 weeks solid, and we did some amazing prep. We were down at ASD in Charlotte, and just been hanging out for a couple of weeks, get the car prepped, and unfortunately, we had a mechanical failure and unable to get out for qualifying, which is a real bummer. Not so much for the points. Well, the points now it knocks us back, but more so for the fans and not being able to put on a show.
And the Rad Bull, the 4-rotor twin-turbo MX-5, what do you make of the vehicle? And congratulations, by the way, winning Formula Drift Ebisu. That was a great event to watch. But I've heard you've taken some of the things from your FD and applied them to the MX-5. Yeah,
the MX-5 is a real challenge, and it's something that we like as a team is just step outside the box and do something fresh and keep the circus alive in the sport and do something new and something that people haven't done before.
Yeah.
And we from New Zealand, we know the rotary engine, and it keeps it exciting.
Right. And what's next for you? Anything cool going on? I know you always have something cool going on.
Well, right now my son Lincoln, he's just in driver's briefing back home in New Zealand. He's racing his trophy kart, so hopefully he shreds this weekend. Get some better luck than I do, but I'm hop on a plane tomorrow, fly out to Goodwood Festival of Speed, so we represent Formula Drift over there, and
cool.
They love it. It's a different demographic of people, but we're out in front with Ken Block and Sir Jackie Stewart and Lewis Hamilton, all sorts of demographics, and it's really cool to showcase professional drifting and how fast and explosive the sport has come.
Yeah, and you do a great job. Like I said, a great ambassador of the sport. What car are you going to be driving at Goodwood?
Actually, we've pulled the Bad Bull RX-8 out of the woodwork. The last time we drove that car was Drift Shifters 2014. Yep. So really excited to get back in that thing and pedal it up the hill.
Drift Shifters, that happening again?
Drift Shifters is back. We're looking like the 26th of November this year in Auckland, so really pumped to have that coming back. And the hardest thing is getting that driver's list, and when you've got all the drivers, it's awesome to have the credibility already and have all the pro guys want to be involved. So back in Auckland, back in hometown, and looking forward to that.
Cool, right on. Well, I'll see you the next round
of
Formula Drift, man. Thank you for joining us up here.
Enjoy the show, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mike. All right, here we go. Moving on to our next battle. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Fredric Aasbo. Again, Alex Heilbrun advancing on to championship implications here, Ryan. You're talking about, you have your 1 and 2 in points. Fredric Aasbo is currently leading 6 points ahead of Vaughn Gittin Jr. And these guys have seen some tussles against each other.
When we look back at the end of the year, this will probably be a battle that we talk about.
Here we go, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Fredric Aasbo. Vaughn Gittin Jr. getting the jump on Aasbo. Good initiation. You're talking about just chipping away. Fredric Aasbo giving himself some room. Coming down the transition is Vaughn Gittin Jr. Fredric Aasbo hanging tough into that second rear clipping zone. Look at Aasbo nosing in. Vaughn Gittin Jr. throwing some more angle into that Monster Energy Ford Mustang. One more front clip and rounding out the course. There it is, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Aasbo. Let's take a look at it again, Ryan.
So Gittin gets a jump on Aasbo here. You can see establishing a lead from the onset, but Gittin is nice and high on the bank there. You can see Aasbo close the door a little bit coming off the bank. Both drivers nice and tight on that inside clip. Aasbo eyeing up an area to attack here on the inside, pulling back a little bit of distance from Gittin. As Gittin wraps around that second inside clip and the third. And then right there you can see Aasbo makes the same mistake Odi did earlier on, coming out of that third inside clip, getting a little out of whack, going up on the bank for a second, giving an advantage to Gittin in that section of the course.
So sorry, real quick, just looking at some of the stats here. These guys have gone against each other a staggering 10 times, with Vaughn Gittin Jr. winning 7 of the 10 times. So that's a pretty good average there. Fredric Aasbo has a 73% winning average. That's really staggering as well compared to Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s 67, but you have to consider, Fredric Aasbo entering the series in 2009 compared to Vaughn Gittin Jr. He entered in the inaugural year, that is 2004.
Well, a really interesting stat is how quick Aasbo has gotten to his 7 wins.
Yeah.
The pace has been pretty amazing.
Aasbo will lead as we alternate the order. Vaughn Gittin Jr. staggered setup. He's just going to drop down to that big bank. Ryan, you said 33 degrees on that bank, that initiation. And when you're standing on it, these guys make it look really easy. I mean, you got to think when they initiate, they're looking down at the ground. Fredric Aasbo throwing it in. Vaughn Gittin Jr. right there. Let's see how he handled that first front clip. Aasbo in the crease. Vaughn Gittin Jr. getting on that horse. See him lunging forward. Aasbo, great angle there through the power alley. As Vaughn runs through the gears. And Aasbo across the finish line. Ryan, do we have a dominant driver here?
Well, Aasbo doesn't get quite the jump on Gittin that Gittin got on him. You can say Gittin is holding him pretty tight here on the bank. Nice lead line as always by Fredric Aasbo. Solid performance out front. Gittin closing the door here. You can see tiny bit less angle there for just a second, and then right there again by Gittin in the chase position. And this area of the course seems to be so challenging for these drivers. That third inside clip coming out of the whoop section, trying to manage this eyesight through the smoke cloud. And there we go. Fredric Aasbo and Vaughn Gittin Jr. is in the books. For now, we'll go to the judges' scorecards.
Yeah, could it go? I mean, you say it's in the books. It could go one more time. I mean, that was a great battle. Where are my Vaughn Gittin Jr. fans at? Make some noise. Where are my Fredric Aasbo fans at? Make some noise. A lot of ladies cheering for Aasbo. As here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Fredric Aasbo. Slide him left for Aasbo, right for Gittin. Ryan, Andy, and Brian say. Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Andy and Brian say one. Andy says one more time, and Brian says. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win. Vaughn Gittin Jr. defeats our defending champion. So 2-1. As Andy says one more time. And there it is. So, man, look at the smoke. Just eerie. It looks like Walking Dead out here. Walking Dead tires. Just lingering. So, Ryan, Alex Heilbrun, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Alex qualifying 9th. Vaughn Gittin Jr. qualifying 4th. That should be another fun one.
A big step for Alex in his career, making it this far. The great qualification, and Gittin obviously continuing the momentum, besting Fredric Aasbo here by a split decision, but winning nonetheless. And we're going to see those guys two battle it out. And then we've got Essa and Forsberg and Field and Gushi, a stacked house for the rest of the event.
Okay, first up, Laurent Nickel had some words with the driver of the Loudmouth Exhaust, Achilles Radial, Essa Autosports BMW. Laurent catching up with Essa.
Well, Michael Essa is moving on, and Michael, I asked you if there was any changes from Orlando to New Jersey, and what did you tell me?
All we really did was replace the clutch. So in Orlando, we've had the same clutch in our car since the start of the season, since testing. Bunch of test days, bunch of dyno runs, all the events. And in Orlando, it finally gave out. In the center section, we're going over the whoops against Kristaps, and I think the car loaded up and spun the clutch, and that was it for us. So felt really strong there and felt like we could be on the podium, but got knocked out because of the mechanical issue. So.
And how do you keep moving forward here in New Jersey?
I mean, right now in Formula D, it's pretty crazy. The level of every single driver out here, the cars, I mean, everybody is running 100%. And you just got to go out there and do your best and just stay focused and, you know, see which way it goes, because I don't think anybody's a slouch out here.
Absolutely not, including you. Michael, thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Lorette. And here we are seeing Chris Forsberg after that contact with Forrest Wang. He got the unanimous decision. Again, the judges talking about a non-braking zone. Forrest Wang off throttle, lifting and scrubbing quite a tremendous amount of speed. So they thought that was enough and sufficient to give Chris Forsberg the victory after the contact. Michael Essa took down Odi Bakchis, which was a really fun, exciting battle to watch. And if you remember, a few years ago, Forsberg and Essa came down to them in to get that championship as Chris Forsberg initiates. Michael Essa going hard at Chris Forsberg. Essa backing off a bit, coming down into that first front clip. Forsberg now into the second rear clipping zone. Essa right there, tucking in right on the door of Forsberg. Transition, oh man, getting thrown off in the power alley as Essa, that loop section, so unfortunately.
Well, Michael Essa has an uncanny ability to time these attacks on the inside pocket here, but he just makes a mistake in doing it. Really incredible move, but just not able to pull it off. But it's really going to be coming through the power alley here where he's going to make the biggest mistake. He does a great job here against Chris out front, who's doing a solid performance here, staying on line, super tight on that inside clip, and then Essa gets lost in the smoke cloud there, drives on the inside of that third inside clip, and that's a pretty sizable mistake to have to overcome. He's got another shot at it. He'll take the lead here against Chris Forsberg and see what he can do to try to take down the two-time champ.
And there's Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s mechanic throwing on some fresh Nitto tires in order to do battle with Alex Heilbrun in the Final Four. Heilbrun, Gittin, already in the Final Four. Who's going to join them? Right now it's between Essa and Forsberg, and then we have Field and Gushi for the final battle in the Grade 8. Again, everybody, if you could blow as hard as possible and get this smoke out of here. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Formula D, hashtag FDNJ. And for every other round of Formula Drift competition, be sure to tune in FormulaD.com where you can watch the live stream. Ryan, next round of competition, what are we looking at here?
St. Eustache, Montreal,
That's
Canada.
right, St. Eustache. We're going up north of the border. Join us at Formula Drift Canada, which is officially a round of 8 of the Formula Drift Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. St. Eustache, they call that the Canadian Irwindale, so we'll be up there. Here we go. Essa will lead. Forsberg will give chase. Michael Essa with a feint entry, throws it in. Forsberg trying to reel him in. The loudmouth exhaust BMW pulling a little bit away there from Essa. Transitioning into that second rear clipping zone. Forsberg maintaining the angle. Essa, deeper angle. Look at that. Nice job by Essa. Bringing it on home. Forsberg kind of falling off there at the end. Ryan, unfortunate for Essa, that mistake there on the power line first run, I think is going to be it.
Yeah, he made that big mistake on initiation and then through the power alley here. Forsberg obviously taking note of that, but not giving him much to play with here. You can see staying tight on Essa. Great job by Essa so far, out in the lead position. He looked incredible through qualifying into the top 32. Really looks like he's coming into his own with that setup, but today just a bit short here against Forsberg, who makes very little corrections in the chase position. So it'll be a tough hill to climb here as we go to the judges' scorecards.
And the results are in. Essa and Forsberg. And there it is. Chris Forsberg gets the win, advancing on to the Final Four. Alex Heilbrun, Vaughn Gittin Jr., and now Chris Forsberg are in the Final Four. Lorette Nickel caught up with our next competitor. Not Matt Field, but Ken Gushi earlier in the pits.
Well, guys, we are dealing with warm temperatures out here compared to last year. And Ken, how is that affecting your car?
Yeah, I mean, we had one hot event from Orlando into another. It was actually really nice here in New Jersey yesterday, but today the temperatures started to climb, and we just had a one more time battle in the top 16 against Ryan Tuerck. So for the first time this whole weekend, I've started to see the oil temperatures climb up. I've been using the water spare system in between runs and trying to keep the oil temps cool, but yeah, it's really not something I want to see early on in the battles. I mean, we still have, grade 8, 4 in the finals, hopefully, to get into. So just crossing my fingers at this point.
Okay, how do you keep advancing?
You know what? I mean, we're sitting 16 points right now, and I really got to make up some points if I really want to get into the championship contention. So I'm just trying my absolute best. No battle is easy nowadays, starting from top 32 all the way to the finish. So one battle at a time, but good thing we are finished with 2 so far. 3 more to go.
Best of luck.
Thanks so much.
Guys.
Thank you, Lorette. And thank you to Ken Gushi, who is about to go against that of Matt Field. You can see the numbers there, Gushi and Field going against each other 3 times, with Gushi getting the victory. Love to see Matt Field on the box. But Ken Gushi, as he said, he's 6th in points. He wants to see how things transpire here. Matt Field and Gush. Matt Field, one podium before. Here we go. Ken Gushi. Great angle. Look at Matt Field. Right there. In the mix is Matt Field. The impact that we're looking for is right there. That is a huge chase run there by Matt Field. Keeps it going. A slight correction of bobble. Keeping the composure. Shoving a lot of speed as they come around that final last front clip. Stinking.
Great start by both these guys. Ken Gushi into initiation here. Matt Field attacks immediately. Stays super close to Gushi on the bank. Slightly bit less angle, but very aggressive on the chase. Now as we come through that first inside clip there, Gushi's going to stay wide. You're going to see Matt Field right here trying to attack. A little bit less angle there from Field, but a very aggressive chase nonetheless. He hits that second inside clip, and then right here he makes a little bit more of a mistake in that chase position, kind of reinitiates to get there, and Gushi's out front laying down a solid lead run. So Matt's going to need one of those, and Gushi's going to have to give a better or equal or better chase run in order to move on. Strong runs by both guys so far. Our final battle here in the grade 8 to move on into the Final Four to meet Alex Heilbrun, Vaughn Gittin Jr., and the winner of this will face Chris Forsberg.
Matt Field qualifying 14th, Ken Gushi qualifying 11th. Ken Gushi, he won back in Houston in 2005, and his most recent victory, he got 3rd place at Long Beach in 2016. So we are waiting again, more smoke out here on track, and taking a look overall. Ken Gushi, 72 events, 1 win, 10 podiums overall, and again, been competing since 2004. Win was all the way back in 2005, and obviously a different vehicle. He's driving a Ford Mustang back then. Matt Field, some of his stats: 37 events overall, 1 podium, 3 top 4 finishes, and his podium came at Texas Motor Speedway in 2013. He got 2nd, so he obviously wants to get up in the mix once again. 1 podium, 3 top 4 finishes, 6 top 8. And here we go, Matt Field out front. A big gap. Where is Ken Gushi? Nowhere to be involved. That's Matt Field. Transitions. Talked about, sounded like he came off the throttle a little bit, but more scrub and some speed Whoa! Matt Field spins out, saves the car, but unfortunately the car comes unbound and just sends him into a spin cycle, Ryan. That looked like it's going to be all Matt Field and potentially the victory.
Wow. Well, Matt Field just handed this one to Ken Gushi here. I mean, Gushi is nowhere to be seen, not really playing a role on the bank or down past the inside clip. Surges through here, tries to become a factor in the second outer zone, but Matt Field just throttles through it, and he stays deep into the second outer zone. Now, as he comes through the power out here, he basically unloads and throws a lot of angle into the car, spins out, does a 360. Now, we saw something similar to this at Long Beach.
Yeah.
Big angle. As he brings his rotation, he's just not able to hold. I mean, that was really dramatic there.
I mean, in Long Beach, he talked about his wheel actually maxing out and actually hitting his tie rod there, and then as far as hitting his suspension overall, but in this instance, man, that just came unbound. That was pretty crazy. As Ken Gushi gets the win, man, Matt Field should definitely hold his head up, man. I know feels like he's been getting a lot of bad luck lately, but I'm just waiting for it to pop, man. So there is our Final Four. It is set. Our Final Four is set as Alex Heilbrun, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Chris Forsberg, and Ken Gushi. Look at that. Again, three veterans, all since 2004. We talked about that Atlanta podium. But can Alex Heilbrun shake things up in the Final Four? All right, our first battle of the Final Four will be Vaughn Gittin Jr. versus a Formula Drift rookie. He won the Pro 2 Championship last year, and this year he is, again, making his debut into the Formula Drift Pro Championship. He goes against Vaughn Gittin Jr., which Lorette caught up with the 2010 Formula Drift champion earlier.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. just took the win away from Fredric Aasbo. Vaughn, that could be a game changer for the points.
Yeah, Fredric's an amazing driver, but, we got this Mustang on rails today, and I'm just out here having a blast, driving as hard as I can. Fredric and I always have good battles, and it was fun sticking to his door the whole time. I'm just having a blast. Just shout out to everybody in Jersey that came out to support us. I got my whole family here. What's up, Mom? My wife, Abby. Everybody's hanging out, and I'm just having a blast. Gonna go drive the wheels off this thing, and I think we just 100% confirmed that we're on the podium. We got a third, but, we want that win. So we're going to go out there and drive as hard as we can and see where we end up.
Thanks, Vaughn.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, there it is. Vaughn Gittin Jr. giving a shout out to his family, the Gittin gang. I know they're down there at the end. We got Don and the whole family. Got Mom and the whole gang. Also, shout out to Midwest Drift Union Round 2 next weekend in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. And there is our championship standings. Fredric Aasbo, that was coming into this round. So obviously the championship implications, having to make their way through it. So Fredric Aasbo, 206 points. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Chris Forsberg, Odi Bakchis, Tyler McCory are your top 5 drivers. But look, Ken Gushi, he's in the Final Four. He's sitting 6th. He's going to jump up a little bit there with Odi Bakchis going out and Tyler McCory. And you can see Chelsea Denofa, Dai Yoshihara, and Alec Honadale. Also tomorrow at Englishtown Raceway Park, the Pro Down Bro Down. Come see pro cars. Go tear it up and have some fun. It's not a competition. Put on by Club Loose. Really cool event. The Pro Down Bro Down going down at Englishtown Raceway Park tomorrow. Could see and hear Alex Heilbrun making their way into the chute. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Alex Heilbrun. The Monster Energy Nitto Tire Mustang RTR of Vaughn Gittin Jr. Vaughn and Alex have seen battle against each other before. Vaughn getting the victory. Vaughn actually sponsored by Monster, the M-Claw. Both these guys on Nitto Tires. Alex Heilbrun, his car is just nicknamed the Monster BMW, given that it is an absolute beast. The IMR Team RTS BMW. V8 under the hood. Ready to throw down. Are you ready to send it, New Jersey? Make some noise. We're in the Final Four here at Wall Stadium Speedway. Who's going to get on the podium? Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. throws it in. Big, huge angle. Alex Heilbrun right there. Look at him working his way up top. Vaughn dragging the wall. Big angle from Vaughn Gittin Jr. Alex Heilbrun chases him down. Gets into the creases. Vaughn as Heilbrun Woo! You see him reeling him in. Hop, skip, and a jump through the power alley out to the touch and go are both the drivers. Phenomenal driving right now from Vaughn and Alex.
Well, a good start here from Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Alex Heilbrun. You can see nice snappy initiation by Vaughn, nice and high on the bank. Alex trying to stick it with him. Watch the angle that Vaughn throws here on inside clip 1. He keeps the momentum moving forward, and no harm done to Alex in the chase position. You can see right here, Alex lost in the smoke cloud, a little bit less angle there in the outer zone number 2. Vaughn makes a little slight correction there coming into inside clip 2. And then right here, both drivers smashing the throttle through this last turn into the final inside clip here with Alex right there with Vaughn Gittin Jr. And Alex has definitely made some progression, not only from the past round, but in this round all the way through, finding himself in the final 4. So congratulations to him. He's got one more lap here to go, try to lay an impression down to the judges as he'll take the lead against Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Looks like the smoke still looms here. Again, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Formula Drift veteran, a rookie in Alex Heilbrun. Hashtag FDNJ. All right, looks like the smoke is clearing out, but that sun, Ryan, as we were talking about, just really makes it thick. Forsberg and Gushi, what do you think there on that other battle there, Ryan, between two veterans?
All I can think back is the incredible battles that those guys had last year, including the one at Atlanta. That was kind of Gushi's breakout during the first part of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And so we know that there's definitely going to be some fireworks there for sure. Number 7 and number 11 qualifier.
Yeah, so if Vaughn Gittin Jr. is guaranteed a podium at this point. With him, the highest qualifying driver, qualifying 4th, even if he loses, he still would get 3rd place. But obviously he wants to better that with either a 2nd and ideally for him, a 1st.
Big opportunity for him, absolutely here. Just a few points shy of Fredric Aasbo currently. He will jump up and take the lead, potentially by a large amount here, depending on what happens in this battle against Alex Heilbrun.
Here we go, Alex Heilbrun out front. Vaughn Gittin Jr. chasing. Look at Alex, great angle. Woo! Vaughn Gittin Jr. having to cut through that smoke. Both these guys on Nitto tires. Alex pulling away from Vaughn Gittin Jr. Transitioning through into that final front clip. A hard-fought battle there between Alex and Vaughn.
Certainly starting to feel it here as this young Peruvian driver starting off strong here on a mid-high line on the bank. Keeping an eye on him here as he tries to close the door coming off the bank into inside clip 1. Losing a little bit of ground and now making it up into the 2nd outer zone here. Both drivers throwing up a big cloud of smoke. Equal angle coming out of the 2nd outer zone. A little bit of distance here as you can see Heilbrun overshoots that 2nd inside clip just by a touch, but tight on that final inside clip as he shoots wide here. Smashes the throttle across the finish line with Vaughn Gittin Jr. falling back just a bit here. So close battle between these two guys.
See, look at that. That's a great example of that smoke and the sun combination.
That's pretty much what they see.
How blinding it is.
Scores starting to drop here for these two competitors. Vaughn Gittin Jr. searching for a 2nd championship. Alex Heilbrun trying to make his mark here in the series.
He seemed to be struggling early on this year, like Long Beach and everything, but now he seems to be hitting his stride, and that's, you know, I mean, he's seen some of these tracks before. He competed in Pro 2. He was very dominant. He won every round, and right now he's going against a driver that's driven here, you know, probably one of the top 3 drivers that's driven here the most, given we've been here for 12 years. Going to the judges, Alex Heilbrun, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Slide it left for Alex, right for Vaughn. Ryan says one more time. Andy says, and they're going one more time. They're going at it again. It's a one more time battle, and I absolutely agree. As Vaughn and Alex, no real major mistakes, nothing super impactful that just superseded the other driver. I think both of them were just figuring each other out. They're kind of dancing, slam dancing here. So, Alex Heilbrun, Vaughn Gittin Jr. as now we're seeing Chris the Force Forsberg and Ken Gushi. Both these guys competing since 2004. Interesting enough, you think they'd see a lot more competition against each other. They've seen battle against each other 8 times from after 12 plus years of formative competition, with Chris Forsberg winning six times out of the 8. Look at that. Chris Forsberg with 239 overall head-to-heads. Ken Gushi with 158. So it shows you the percentage there of victory there by Forsberg. As Forsberg initiates into the bank, Ken Gushi inching closer. Down near his front wheel though, needs to get up on the door, and there goes Ken Gushi. Ken Gushi splits off. It seemed that Ken Gushi just, I'm seeing a tire rub there on his door. There might have potentially been contact. But in that instance, it would be Ken Gushi's fault.
Well, Ken didn't seem to get the greatest start here. It looked like he was kind of slow, and then he picked up speed towards initiation, but not in the typical fashion that you would see. Let's see off the line here. You can see a little bit slower approach there by Gushi. Then he gets into it. He sees it. He's got a distance to make up. Really pours it on. Drops his line down, and then right there he's going to touch the wheel of Chris Forsberg, the rear wheel, and it's going to leave a mark on the door. So Gushi, unfortunately for him, tough mistake. It looks like he's heading back to the line, possibly just checking the vehicle out here.
Man, Chris Forsberg, I mean, if you can remember, so Ken Gushi shuts it down, and we are hearing that he needs a competition timeout, meaning that he will get a 5-minute allotment. So again, a competition timeout here for Gushi. And they are taking a look. So no collision on track. So they're saying that basically, you know, nobody was at fault. It's basically just contact and, you know, just being aggressive. But so if you're wanting to get hands on the car and inspect the car, you would need to utilize your competition timeout. So Gushi is deciding to do that, as Chris Forsberg currently is saying no, they'd like to withhold that competition timeout. So I'm sure we'll be seeing, ideally, we'll see Alex Heilbrun and Vaughn Gittin Jr. All right, let's find out what transpires here. We are in the final 4. Alex Heilbrun and Vaughn Gittin Jr. They are to go one more time, and right now Forsberg and Gushi, obviously with that contact, when we return here to round 4 of the Formula Drift Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras.
Well, here we go.
Oh, good, please.
Sorry, I was going to say, here we go. Take a look real quick, Jared, before we get back to the action at run 1 of Chris Forsberg and Ken Gushi, just to catch you up here. This is what resulted in Gushi needing competition timeout. He was falling back off the start line, then he surged forward off the bank, makes contact right there on the transition coming down, and incidentally goes off course. So he's got a big hill to climb here against Chris, who finished out the run despite the contact. And Forsberg is one step closer to another finals here. We still have Alex Heilbrun and Vaughn Gittin Jr. left to go. But this will be the second half of the battle, as Ken will take the lead against Chris Forsberg.
All right, here we go. We are seeing, again, the second half of this battle. Saw Gushi with the contact. He's now out front. Forsberg giving chase. Initiating is Gushi. Getting up close and personal with the wall. Transitioning down. Forsberg throwing it in hard. Looked like he's going right for his door as Gushi continues through the course, through the power alley. Gushi taking out that front clip. Oh wow, Forsberg shallowing up that line. And continuing through the course.
Well, a really excellent job here by Ken Gushi on the bank, doing everything he possibly can to try to give himself an advantage. Super high, great angle, gets the better of Chris on the bank in general. You can see a little bit of a flub there by Forsberg in the chase position, but it will most likely be all for naught for Ken Gushi after not being able to complete that first run. Look at the angle from Ken here, then a little bit of a mistake as he takes out that third inside clip. You can see an adjustment by Forsberg, making a mistake in the chase position. But as I said, with Ken not completing that run, unfortunately, it will go the direction of Chris Forsberg.
So with Chris Forsberg qualifying 7th, Ken Gushi qualifying 11th. All right, Ryan, let's make it official. Chris Forsberg gets the win. Chris Forsberg advances on, and he's in the finals. So Gushi qualifying 11th. Unfortunately for him, that means he will not be seeing a podium today. Unfortunately for Gushi, he is the lowest qualifying driver out of the Final Four. So that means, unfortunately, Gushi is just outside of a podium spot. So Forsberg is going to the finals, and we'll find out who he goes against next. Is it Alex Heilbrun or Vaughn Gittin Jr.? Remember, join us for the podium ceremony. If you're here, you can't miss it in the paddock area. We'll give out the carbon fiber trophies. And join us on the live stream, our next round of competition at St. Eustache. We head north of the border to Formula Drift, Canada. And that is July 15th and 16th. So just about a month away. Just about a month away. There's Vaughn Gittin Jr. getting some cameras strapped to it. Alex Heilbrun, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Here we are, the one more time battle between these gentlemen. As we wait to see who's going to the finals. And Alex Heilbrun, definitely no pushover, showing you that he has what it takes. I think one of the drivers is going to need to make a large mistake. The way these guys are driving, looking very aggressive. A lot of smoke coming off those Nitto tires. As Vaughn Gittin Jr. So we're taking a look here at Vaughn Gittin Jr. as Vaughn is high on the wall and also he's angled. He's been utilizing that angle thing for a while, but only in the chase position, which that's fine. This is the first time he's doing it here for the lead.
You can see Luke there, kind of square up Vaughn. Vaughn wanted to. You can tell he's not very happy about that.
Yeah, I just told him to.
So we're seeing him converse here. All right, looks like Vaughn is straightening out. And there, now it looks like he's straight. So you can obviously be high on the bank because your car drops down naturally, and he's been staggering or kind of at a slight angle. So when he hits the throttle, it drops to a straight position. All right, here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. crawling off. Here we go. Quick tap of the brake, initiated. Look at that. Not huge angle there past that first front clip, but right now, good execution. Pretty textbook here, Ryan. Fairly similar to what we saw on their first run. Good showing.
Yeah, here we go. You can see Vaughn Gittin Jr. starting off nice and high on the bank. But Alex right there, just slightly lower on the first half. But doing a great job really getting that car dialed in. And you can see it paying dividends here. Super close to Vaughn. Vaughn, solid lead, nice and tight on that second inside clip. Back around to that third. Not able to shake Alex though. He stays with them. And both drivers across the finish line, very similar to run number one. So now we'll mix it up. Alex goes to the lead position. Vaughn goes to the chase.
Forsberg waits in the wings to see who he's going to be competing against in the finals. Will it be Alex Heilbrun, a Formula Drift rookie, or the exact opposite, Formula Drift veteran since 2004 in Vaughn Gittin Jr. It's going to be a veteran versus veteran in the finals, or is the rookie going to shake things up in that RTS BMW for his first ever pro podium? But regardless, actually, Alex will be seeing a podium spot, third place at minimum, but he wants to better that to get into the finals. Waiting for the smoke to clear up here. Both these guys on Nitto tires. And away they go. Here we go, leaving the start line. Alex Heilbrun will lead. Vaughn Gittin Jr. chasing. Initiating is Alex Heilbrun. Vaughn Gittin Jr. working his way up the bank. I was going to say that he was starting low, but he actually made his way up to the wall. And look at this, Alex now pulling away from Vaughn Gittin Jr. Seeing some separation here. Is Alex Heilbrun going to be dominant here and take it to the finals? Cutting through the smoke is Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Alex Heilbrun powers through the finish line.
Well, here we go, going back to it. Alex in the lead, Vaughn in the chase. Alex kind of on a mid-high line, then gets a little bit higher towards the end. Vaughn sticking with him, falls back for a second here, and then Alex starting to pull ahead. This is probably the farthest we've seen the distance go between these two. Alex leaves outer zone 2. Like to see him get a little bit more angle through those second and third clipping points. He's able to maintain this lead here against Vaughn and then cross the finish line. Solid lead run for Alex as Vaughn falls back just a little bit.
Looks like the judges want to see run one again.
Here's run one. We'll take a look at this. See, Vaughn is very high on the bank. Alex doing pretty well though, staying with him. You can see that correction though in the chase position. Right there, he kind of straightens out for a second, but he gets back on it. He stays super tight to Vaughn. So we have the separation between Alex and Vaughn on Alex's lead run. A little flub in the chase coming off the bank by Alex, but pretty much staying with him the entirety of the course. Now let's take a look at this lead run again. You can see Alex maybe not as high as Vaughn on the bank. Vaughn sticks with him there. And then Vaughn falls back, shallows up a little bit, coming off the bank. Very deep into that zone is Alex. Great job there, goes up just a little bit. He's off that inside clip, tiny bit. Like seeing a little bit more angle through that section. He's able to maintain that gap, probably able to get away a little bit and kind of driving through the power alley without maximum angle. But not a lot to critique here. Go to the judges' scorecards. Did Vaughn have enough, or will it be Alex?
Here we go, going to the judges. Alex Heilbrun, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Slide it left for Alex. The Peruvian driver is taking down the Formula Drift veteran. Ryan says Vaughn Gittin Jr. Andy says one more time, and Brian says Vaughn Gittin Jr. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win 2-1.
Well, Alex definitely got the better of Vaughn in the chase position, except for when he came off the bank. He made a big straightening there, and I can see how the judges would not reward that at all as a big mistake. He basically corrected very largely off the bank. He did do a pretty decent lead. It wasn't as good as Vaughn's, so you can see how it might have gone one more time for one of the judges, but definitely that mistake certainly not helping his case at all. So Vaughn moves on, split decision into the finals against Chris Forsberg.
So Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Chris Forsberg are in the finals. When we return, we'll take a quick break as Vaughn will throw some fresh Nitto tires on the car. Alex Heilbrun will be getting the third place position on the podium here at round 4 of the Formula Drift Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. The finals when we return.
And while we have the time, let's go down to Lorette, who is with Chris Forsberg right now as he prepares for the finals. Lorette?
Chris Forsberg, congratulations. Take us through that run.
Well, we had Ken Gushi in the semifinals. We had the lead run first, so we threw it up nice high and wide on the bank like we are told to do. And as we transferred off the bank, Gushi was a little low, a little too close, and he got into contact with the rear of my car, and it spun him out into the infield. We completed the run, got our score. He got a 0. And so in the next run, we wanted to make sure that we stayed nice and tight. We don't want an inactive chase, and also put on a good show for the fans. Kept it within a car length around the course and got the win.
Okay, best of luck, Chris.
Thank you.
Guys?
Well, about a bit of history about to be underway here as we look at the all-time win list in the Formula Drift Championship. Chris Forsberg and Vaughn Gittin Jr. along with Dai Yoshihara all tied with 8. One of those drivers, Forsberg or Gittin, will tie Samuel Hübinette for the all-time wins. Now, this is a record going back quite a few years. Samuel Hübinette, a champion twice over in 2004 and 2006. But now tonight, either Forsberg or Vaughn Gittin Jr. will now tie the legend of Samuel Hübinette here at Wall Speedway.
Taking a look at some of the stats here with Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Chris Forsberg. They've gone against each other, what is that, 6, 7, 8, that's 13 times. With Vaughn Gittin Jr. winning 8 compared to Chris Forsberg's 5 times. 62% winning percentage, obviously, with that, the 8 victories. But overall, taking a look at their stats, and just recently, Vaughn Gittin Jr. beat Chris Forsberg in Atlanta, so that's where Vaughn went and eventually won the event. And then with Chris Forsberg getting 3rd place, with Dai Yoshihara getting 2nd. But then as far as overall, Vaughn Gittin Jr., 224 overall battles with a 67% winning percentage. With Chris Forsberg overall, 239 overall matches with a 69% winning percentage. Vaughn Gittin Jr. qualifying first, not once but twice this year, as we are getting set again for the finals. When we return, we'll be seeing who wins here in New Jersey for round 4 of the Formula Drift Championship presented by Blackview. All right, here we are in New Jersey. The finals are here. Why don't you get on your feet? Let's make some noise. Come on now. Get on your feet for the finals. Here we go. This is the finals of round 4 of the Formula Drift Championship presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Chris Forsberg. Who's going to get the win here at Wall? Vaughn Gittin Jr. sticking it to the wall. Chris Forsberg right there. Transitioning through into the second rear clipping zone. Vaughn dipping in the crease. Chris Forsberg nosing in at his door. Wheel to wheel through the power alley. Vaughn pulling away from Chris Forsberg. He had the proximity, but then it ended up biting him. Forsberg scrubbing a lot of speed there. A great chase run right up until that power alley, you saw the separation.
Well, it seems to get a lot of different guys. You can see Vaughn and Chris very close here on the bank, nice and high. Chris just slightly a little bit down, but Vaughn, incredible job through this first inside clip. And then you can see Forsberg surging forward here, staying super close. Great job. I mean, this is basically an even matchup through this section of the course. And then right here, Chris goes a little bit long on that second inside clip. He's not able to maintain his approach on the transition to that third inside clip and falls back from Vaughn Gittin Jr. on that one. So equal battle up until that point. Very, very close on the bank. And then through the power alley, Chris makes a little bit of a flub and falls back a little bit from Gittin.
Ryan, will this be it? Oh, taking a look at this again.
So judges want a quick replay as we wait for Forsberg to get back to the line. You can see how amazing that bank was from both drivers. Then Forsberg tucks up on the inside. Gittin, incredible line here. Super close. And then right here, watch, you can see Forsberg fades a little bit from that inside clip and then falls back here. Gives some ground up to Vaughn Gittin Jr.
All right, we are hearing that Chris Forsberg is calling a competition timeout.
Are we good?
So we are seeing Chris Forsberg's team take a look. They're gonna throw the book at it, man. I mean, they know. They just saw what their vehicle did against Vaughn Gittin Jr. in that chase position, and Chris again had a great chase job, but now Vaughn is going to be chasing down Forsberg. But again, a competition timeout is called. Laurent Nickel caught up with our contender for the championship a little earlier today.
Well, Vaughn, it seems like your family is definitely your good luck charm out here.
Yeah, I mean, well, that and a whole lot of hard work, but it definitely helps having them. Every time I come out, I see them cheer me on, and, it just feels good. I mean, I've been so fortunate to have so much support over all the years of partners and family and an amazing wife, and, yeah, it's rad. And, we're out here doing our thing and being in the finals, going up against one of my best friends, Chris Forsberg. We literally met 30 miles from here, where we're going to be tomorrow, drifting together. And, I think both of us couldn't ask for a better ending to the evening. This is one of those battles where, we both want to win because there's a points chase. But right now, Chris is one of the best drivers in the world. And, without question, right now, who the best man today is who's going to win.
Okay, and expectations going against one of your best friends?
Yeah, I mean, expectations is I'm going to win this because if I didn't think that, I shouldn't be here.
Best of luck, guys.
Gotta love it. That's the confidence you need. That's there's a fine line between cocky and confident. Right now, he is all confidence. Gotta love Vaughn Gittin Jr., and that's what took him to an unprecedented amount of podiums in his 2010 season. So when we return, we'll see Forsberg and Gittin for the second half of the finals here at round 4, the Formula Drift Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. All right, welcome back. We are here, and we are about to see our finals. All right, we're taking a look at the replay here.
This is what got us to where we are here. Now you can see, once again, Vaughn very solid in the lead position. Forsberg really taking it to him here on that second outer zone. But then you can see Forsberg goes a little bit long on that inside clip, not following Gittin, gets held up here, falls back. Looks to give an advantage to Vaughn Gittin Jr. on run number 1. Forsberg to the line, Vaughn Gittin Jr. chase him down for the win here in New Jersey.
All right, we are here on the start line. Are you ready to send it, New Jersey? The finals are here. Make some noise. Let's find out who's going to get the victory here at Wall Stadium Speedway. Chris Forsberg initiates. Vaughn Gittin Jr. works his way up the wall. You see him just massaging that Monster Energy Nitto Tire Mustang. Wow, Vaughn narrowly escaping some contact there. Has a horsepower on call. Forsberg maxing out the angle. Vaughn is right there. Through the power alley is Forsberg. Vaughn Gittin Jr. is riding shotgun with Chris Forsberg. Woo! Make some noise, New Jersey and around the globe. What do you say? Hashtag FDNJ.
Well, Vaughn Gittin Jr. slides right into the pocket here against Chris Forsberg. But Forsberg nice and high on the bank. Great job by both competitors here. Look at this move right here on the inside. Narrowly missing the back bumper of Forsberg, timing that perfectly. Forsberg comes through it with great angle. And you can see as they leave the outer zone number 2, both drivers with good angle through the power alley, but Gittin is with them. Nice and tight on the inside here, and then exclamation point across the finish line is Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Yeah, that separation with Forsberg on that first battle that could have sealed the deal for him, but then Vaughn Gittin Jr. just an exemplary chase run here, and it seems that Vaughn just has had Forsberg's number for quite some time. I know the talk in the pits will be like, man, just cannot get past him. But again, make some noise for both these guys. Vaughn Gittin Jr., Chris Forsberg. Let's announce our winners here. Gentlemen, stay out of your cars. Let's bring your top 3 right there. Stay there, don't go anywhere. Just keep them there, you're all good. All right, so gentlemen, just go ahead and jump out of your vehicles, make some noise for these top 3 as we bring our number 3 driver up there. Make some noise for the Peruvian driver. That is Alex Heilbrun. Alex Heilbrun gets third place here. And now we'll announce the winner here at round 4 of the Formula Drift Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Did you guys have fun, New Jersey? Make some noise for all 3 drivers. These guys will be tearing it up at the Pro Down Bro Down tomorrow, Englishtown, in these cars, so come out and have fun. But now it's time to celebrate with some carbon fiber trophies and find out who won here at round 4 of the Formula Drift Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. He's from the East Coast. He has a V8 under his hood. He's in Drift Alliance. He's sponsored by an energy drink company. And last but not least, your winner is Vaughn Gittin Jr. Vaughn Gittin Jr. grabs the win in his Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Mustang RTR. There's your winner, and with that being said, and he is now tied for all-time wins with 9 and getting second place in the NOS Energy Drink 370Z from Doylestown, Pennsylvania on hand-cooked tires. It is Chris the Force Forsberg grabbing second place with Alex Heilbrun grabbing third. All right, so Lorette Nickel is down there with our winner now. Lorette?
Thank you so much, Jared. Vaughn, you drive so much with Chris Forsberg. Were you able to predict the moves of your best friend?
The only prediction is that Chris is going to be exactly where he needs to be and just about perfect. So that's exactly what he did. And, when you run with a driver like him, you have the confidence to toss it in super hard with them. You're not waiting. You're not expecting him to do anything weird. So, he brings out the best in me. And probably if you ask him, he'll probably say the same because we have a trust for each other. But make no mistakes, we both wanted to destroy one another as soon as we left that line. But, for me, like I mentioned before, Forsberg and I met 30 miles from here. We've been great friends for the last 13 years. We've driven all over the world together. And I think him and I both agree that Edmund Wall couldn't get any better. We'll be at E-Town tomorrow, banging doors again, having a blast with each other at Club Loose at Englishtown Raceway. So looking forward to it. Hope to see a lot of you all out there. And Jersey, thank you so much for the love. I see all our team shirts, and you guys have just been amazing support. Thank you all. Love you. Woo!
Vaughn Gittin Jr. takes his second win of the season. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Lorette, and congratulations to Vaughn Gittin Jr., Chris Forsberg, and Alex Heilbrun. Ryan, this shakes things up quite a bit as far as the overall standings.
Yeah, absolutely. With Fredric Aasbo going out and Vaughn Gittin Jr. taking the win, Forsberg on the podium in second place. They've certainly identified themselves as the lead contenders, those 3 drivers. We talked about the changing of the narrative. That's it right there. It's Vaughn Gittin Jr., Fredric Aasbo, and Chris Forsberg. And, of course, the new developing talent of Alex Heilbrun dialing in his vehicle finally and seeing actually the raw talent that this young driver is. I thought he had a phenomenal performance today, and congratulations to him for third place.
On behalf of Lorette Nickel, Brian Sage, I'm Jared Deanda. We'll see you at St. Eustache for the next round, which is round 5 of the Formula Drift Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras.